So hello everybody, it is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner, and he's still recovering from, yes, he's got a very scratchy throat and all of that, and I do too, so we're going to get through this. Probably won't be on here as long as we normally are, only because, we're a little bit under the weather. And so the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like to say a big giant thank you and welcome to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, I think we'll share the link today. I just really be forgetting sometimes. We do share the link so that you can come on and voice your opinion. We'll ask that you do it briefly. And if I have not seen you on here before, show me your face before I bring you up. If you have your face blacked out or something with a picture, that way I can verify that it is no nonsense or anything like that. So today we're going to be talking about some residents in Watts, the Jordan Down housing project, if you will, saying that they're going to fight back against people who are doing the flash mobs and the smash and grabs and things like that. I'll show you guys a short video because it is tied to actually a smash and grab that happened not too long ago. So we're going to get into that discussion. Donovan, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I had I'm kind of somber a little bit because I have a loved one that has passed away, and he really mentored me a lot in the military and stuff. So, it's just the idea that, we all got to go. And these baby boomers, these guys are checking out of here. And, this is like the second Marine friend of mine and a mentor type person in 2 months. And these people, when you got a good mentor, it's really hard to kind of, process the fact that they've moved on and you're out here by yourself. But hopefully I learned a lot from them to where I can continue to survive and be here. But welcome to the Demetra K Show, you guys. Again, please excuse my voice. I'm getting better. It's just going to take a little bit of time. But do us a favor. There's a banner at the bottom there. If you guys want to contribute and keep encouraging Demetra to make these great videos, you can do so using those apps. 100% of your donation goes to the content creator. If you use the YouTube app, which we appreciate just as much, 60% goes to the content creator, where YouTube takes 40%. Also, do not forget to download and join the African Diaspora News.org. And that way we can do programs and things and talk amongst ourselves without having to worry about being censored. You still get Philip Scott. You get everything the African Diaspora News Channel has in real time. Philip Scott, Vicky Dillard, Demetra, Wongel. And there's a new girl on there I just saw recently. I forgot her name.
So we have Emma and Andera.
Right. Okay. There you go. Mm-hmm. And so, and that's a platform that we can use. And the more of us that move over there, the less we've got to be on here, and we can have our own conversations. So again, thank you guys for coming back to the show. We're looking for this is going to be a great topic because people are getting tired of what's going on in the world. But here's my question before you get into it, Demetra. I thought Black people were synonymous with criminality. That's like just part of the community. Why would they be upset at crime and criminality in the neighborhoods that they live in? Why would they be upset with it?
Well, I am glad you asked. So who do we have on here before I get started? We have Troy. We have GA. How you doing? Flutie Van, what's going on with you? Rins G, how are you? Sagittarius Goddess, hello. And Thunder, what's going on with you? Suburbia Jones, how are you? And Angela Reddick. Everybody is extending their condolences to you for the loss of your loved one. Hey, Lisa, how are you? All right. So actually, Corliss sent me this video of why my brother sent me a text right now talking about you doing the show. Hold on. Let me send him. Donovan, can you send him a link that I sent you? I've not heard from my brother about the show in like a month. That is so funny. Anyway, So Corliss Johnson, she sent me this particular story yesterday. And I said, okay, that's pretty interesting. I think it'll be, really good to talk about, especially on Wednesday. It's supposed to be Wealth Wednesdays with Walter, but Walter's been missing in action, but sounds like he is going to join us here. So let me actually give him just a couple of seconds to come on here before I play the video. And he says, what are we talking about? But anyway, let's see who else came on here so far. Brother Damon, how are you today? When do you come back to the States? I know you said you were in Norway. You're on your way back, or are you back? What? Or I don't even know how long it takes to travel back, but I think you were there yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I'll just go ahead and get into it. Walter has to catch up. So anyway, I'm going to show y'all the video that Corliss sent to me, and then I'm going to give it a little bit more background Saturday. Okay, here we go.
Lot tonight.
So now, guess what? We patrolling right here, and this where we gonna be at. It gotta stop, and we gonna put a stop to it. We don't need no police involved. We're gonna take it to the streets.
Tough talk from locals who are taking the targeting personally.
Yeah, I'm born and raised right here, you know what I'm saying? So like y'all take it from me.
Why is it frustrating to you?
Cause we ain't the one doing it and we live here. But if they come right here while we right here, they won't be the ones doing it either.
Right.
Guarantee that.
Until those efforts reach Watts, some who live here say they are going to help protect their own.
Look, take a look. We look good. We finally doing something. They need to just leave us alone. They need to go about their business. Don't ever come back here. This community already rough. They just making.
So as you saw there, that was actually in response to a smash and grab that happened maybe a week or so ago, right? To this point, or maybe a little bit, before that. So anyway, that was the residents of Watts. Now, Jordan Downs is a housing, I call it the project because that's what most people know it to be. But last year, after waiting about 20 years for planning and construction and all of that, some of the apartments, if you will, were torn down and reconstructed. Now, they said that they put about $1 billion into reconstructing the Jordan Down community, if you will. And along with the nicely renovated, it's not even renovated, they're just brand new, right? The new apartments, if you will, there's a shopping center. They said it's over 100,000 square feet of a shopping center. They have grocery stores. What else? They have banks, clothing stores, and the Nike store is one of them. Restaurants, and they have, being a low-income community, guess what you call it? They're the first ones that have a Starbucks there. So the people there are like, listen, we haven't had anything like this ever. Now, the Jordan Down project had been there since the 1940s. It came into fruition after World War II. It was used with federal funding to build it. And of course, there's a whole host of, and it used to be, not as much now as it used to be, projects. Cabrini Green in Chicago is one of them. And there's a few more in Los Angeles. This is like 14 housing project, low-income housing in Los Angeles, with housing about 20,000 residents, mostly Black and brown people. So the people that you saw here in this video are like, nah, we're going to protect what we have, because we traditionally have a food desert, right? We have to travel far and wide to go to a grocery store or go shopping, and we have the stuff right here in our neighborhood. And many of those jobs actually hire people that live in the Jordan Down community. Also, there's been a lot of grants and stuff that has gone forward to help the Jordan Down community and all of that. So again, they're like, we'll do whatever we need to do. We're going to police our own community. But it should be said that in that particular smash and grab, I think it was like $12,000 stolen out of that Nike store during that time. As far as I know, they have not apprehended the people who did it. Now, I should say that stores, it's been reported that this year has experienced about over $100,000, and I'm sorry, $100 million in theft, right? So not just the smash and grabs, you have inside jobs and employees taking stuff, and just a whole bunch of things that's kind of thrown in. Many stores are saying that they're having to spend upwards of $800,000 to $1 million just in security alone. Of course, we have heard about Walmart's and Target's closing stores in, what they would say our neighborhoods, because they just cannot surmount the theft that is going on. If you guys have gone into a Walmart or a Target lately, you'll see that the essentials and a whole bunch of stuff are just locked up, right? Like I went into Walmart not too long ago and I'm like, y'all locking up the deodorant too? Well, no wonder people walking around here funky, and so they're doing it to obviously combat the theft that is going on. But I really love this story more than anything, because this is what we need. This is what we need to see. we need to see people in our community say, you know what? We got it, police officers. We got it. We're going to police our own communities because that's what used to happen back in the day. We didn't really rely on the police too much because we know when the police come in our community, it's often never anything good, right? So I love that they're saying that we're not going to allow some bad apples to ruin what we have because, you know, when those stores close up, then they'll be back to having to go to other people's neighborhoods. That should also be said that housing projects in nature are considered to be racist because traditionally they keep low-income people who usually are us and, you know, Hispanic people in one community away from white people, but they're saying they're trying to change the nature of it. That's what they say anyway, right? We don't know how true that'll be, but yeah. So Donovan, what say you?
Well, you know, I don't know how far you got to go to get to the bottom, rock bottom, but like you said, back in the day, that was something that people used to do. To me, it seemed like in the 70s and the baby boomer generation, they dropped the ball. When the dope game started being really, really big, that's when you could just walk into people's neighborhoods and just do what you want to do. Like if you go down to Compton, whatever, and you see white people who are running around, and usually when they would come to the black part of town, you know, they were either there for the vices of prostitution or the drugs. But you know, the things I heard about my father when you know, I was growing up was the fact that, you know, him and his little bunch of friends, you couldn't just be walking around there, you know, and you know, without being questioned, you know, like, hey, who are you? What, you know, what do you want here? What's going on? What's going on? What I really don't understand is like you got these so-called gang members that are out here today, and they claim all of this turf in their neighborhood, but yet they don't defend it. Anybody can come up in there, do what they got to do, but it's their turf. You know, so I'm kind of glad that we're getting back to the basics. It's way long overdue, but I think it's going to be in time for the purge. And, you know, that's something that, you know, we really have to start taking seriously because where we are at now is we are now a permanent underclass. And if we're going to be a permanent underclass, then we need to go back to what worked for us from the beginning. So, you know, long overdue, but I'm thankful that they're doing it. Better late than never.
Hi Walter, how are you?
Good. I forgot today was Wednesday.
Yeah, you forgot for like a whole month.
Yeah, it's been a process.
So JBW already say, and how you doing? By the way, said question, what was the crime rate in Watts Jordan Downs before this video clip? So I don't have that number just yet, but it says Watts crime rates are 75% higher than national average. Violent crimes in Watts are about 367% higher than the national average. So we know that the crime is high there. It's on the notorious Grape Street, if you will. You guys have seen and heard a lot about Grape Street in movies, Jordan Downs, Nickerson Gardens, and all of those, you know, housing projects. So it's pretty high. Like Donovan said, typically in so I should say too, as the research I was doing on the Jordan Down housing, if you will, the new one, they're saying, yeah, everything is nice. The building's new and new amenities and things like that, but they still have some of the people that kind of make it hard to live there, still there. So I should also say that there's a portion of the old Jordan Downs that's still there. And they said, unfortunately, those people that are still there are going to have to wait about another 10 years before they completely refurbish those or tear those down and build another one. They said now they're going to go focus their efforts in Chinatown and San Pedro over there, I guess, because they have housing projects as well. They said, although they won't get as much money allocated to them as they did in Jordan Downs, but yeah, the crime is, you know, it's still an issue there, but it's good to see the residents there saying, you know what, we've waited a long time to have the new stuff come in here and we're not going to let anybody ruin it. But it also speaks to, look what how people's mentalities change and shift when they do get new stuff, you know, or people are they're invested in, right? So I love to see it. So Walter, we're actually talking about a clip I just showed it not too long ago of residents in Jordan Downs, the housing project, if you will, in Watts, saying that they're going to be fighting back against the people who are doing the smash and grabs. They recently got about $1 billion allocated toward that area. They tore down some of the apartments, if you will, and it said it went from 700 units to 1,500 units. That's what it is, I guess now. And so they got a lot of new stuff, supermarkets, clothing stores, and things like that. So the residents are saying they're going to police their own community and not allow people to go in there and do those things. They stole about $12,000 out of the Nike store that's in the area. So,
what's funny? Actually, last night I got a weird phone call from an old buddy of mine. His name is Terrell Hickman. We haven't spoken in years, but he called me last night with the same issue. We talked for about 2 hours last night. We kind of talked about back in the days how blacks used to like take care of their own, how we were more conservative, how we dealt with our own problems, and then as the civil rights came around, black people started relying on the government more, and the liberals, and how just crappy everything has become. So it was actually perfect timing. It's funny. He said something to me that caught me off guard. He says, like, you see like LeBron and a bunch of these black celebrities come out with the liberal shit, but behind closed doors, they tell their kids something totally different. They're telling their kids, hey, if you get pulled over, be quiet. Don't say nothing. Pull your pants up. Go out. Act like you got some respect. You go out and make your own thing happen. But when they come out, it's like, oh, we need help. We need, black people. We can't really do it on our own. We need the government, blah, blah, blah. So it's pretty interesting to see, these people policing their own town. And really what it's doing is making black people look crazy. I mean, I know everybody's doing it, but as a black man, I mean, like, can you imagine? Like, I feel like we went back 400 years, or not 400 years. When did the whole gangster Snooki guy pop on TV? The black dude, the gangster. What was that? The 60s, 70s? So I feel like we went back in time, because now, unfortunately, you have 2 or 3 brothers walk into a store. Yes. It's like, oh shit, here comes security, and I can't say I blame them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a shit show right now. We need to whoop some ass. We need to hang these brothers upside down by their toenails and pull their fingernails out one at a time until they cut this shit out. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and let me get to Lisa. Lisa, how you doing? So in Chicago, they tore down the projects, and it's been Gotham City ever since. Yeah, I heard that about Cabrini Green when they tore it down. And this is what they're saying, the criminal element kind of dispersed because it was kind of like contained. But again, projects are racist in nature, where they, house low-income people and have it devoid of resources and things like that. And it kind of becomes people kind of preying on each other type of situation. Now, they said that they were supposed to rebuild, I guess, Cabrini Green, or put something like it in its place, and they never did. And that's true for a lot of housing projects. Now, people are saying, well, projects are negative, but a lot of people are saying, well, it still provided people a roof over their head that wouldn't ordinarily be able to pay for, regular housing or whatever. Because we know, especially in Los Angeles, which is where Watts is, it's extremely expensive to live anywhere, and they said that they also entertained turning some of them into condos that they could sell and, all that kind of stuff. But people are like, well, I don't know if I necessarily want to live over there, because it's still, a criminal element. So
I can tell you, people don't care. I was, one of my friends lives off of the 10 freeway in Adams over in LA. And back in the days, you wouldn't walk over there. Not at night anyways. I tell you, man, my friend, she moved over there. She goes, oh, I love it here. It's so nice. We get all these new stores and developments. That was the hood. And it's totally been redeveloped. And the funny part is, I had a client of mine move into that same neighborhood 10, 15 years ago, right when it was, you can see crackheads on the corner. And she goes, Walter, it's a white lady, so I'm going to use her voice. Walter, we know that this neighborhood is going to improve. So we came in and we bought low. So when the word she used, gentrifies our property value. She bought 2 homes, a duplex for $400,000 near the freeway in the 10 freeway in LA a duplex for 400 grand. This was, geez, I don't know, 2000. I want to say 7, 8, something like that. You want to know what that duplex is worth right now? Millions. 2 million.
You know, it's funny that you brought that up because I was going to say that the gentrification of LA, the people that are moving there now don't know the history. They don't know anything. So they're thinking, oh, wow, this is a great area. I'm going to rent and, you know, live here, whatever the deal is. But, you know, they don't know the history because it's just like, if you're like we know Compton, you know, Compton of the 80s and stuff like that. But let's go back to the Compton of the 50s. It was an all white neighborhood. You know, and so I think the gentrification is they are determining these new migrants that are coming here won't know or care about the history, and they're going to make money off of that new generation.
Yeah, this shit is just the West Bank over there. I mean, if you see what's going on in Israel, you know, it's crazy. And I don't want to get wrapped up into this, but I'm going to relate the two.
Yeah, please don't.
I know it's funny, like, oh shit, we can't talk about here come master. No, the point I'm making is the issue they're having over there is with crowding, and if you look at both sides, it's just funny how one side talks about, you know, the terrorism, and the other side's like, you know, we've been losing our land forever and ever and ever. Even I hear a lot of people coming out talking about encroachment. So really, if you look at what's happening now for some of these neighborhoods, it's not the same thing, but these people are slowly moving into these neighborhoods because people need a place to live. You know what I'm saying? Your house is on fire. You're going to leave the house. And right now, the economy's nuts, interest rates, people losing their jobs. And a lot of people in tech and some of these people with high-end jobs are losing their jobs. So the guy that made 200 grand that just got laid off has $500,000 in equity in his house over in blah, blah, blah hills, is looking at Compton like, oh, not only is it affordable, but, you know, sooner or later it's going to be really nice. And the other question I gotta ask is, why can't the black people keep it nice? Why does it have to be gentrified to get a Starbucks that's new or new this or that? Why can't we do that?
I think it's and we got a couple of questions here on deck. So why can't we do it? I mean, it's a lot of reasons, but
I mean, not the white man issues. I'm talking about why can't
you know,
do it?
When I feel like this.
Like the Malcolm approach, not the Martin Luther King.
Well, no, it's like this. It's almost like when you get dressed, you feel better, right? You feel like you can do more, and you feel like you go out to the world and you know, and just do it big. But when you kind of dress crappy, you don't feel as good. So the point that I'm making is, look at what happened when they reinvested in that neighborhood. Now let's keep it a buck. We know that they don't reinvest in black neighborhoods as ever, hardly. I mean, I live in Houston. I go to the 5th Ward, the 3rd Ward, and other places, and there's just absolutely no reinvestment. Now, listen, I'm not saying that's an excuse for certain elements to go on, but Walter, we was over there, and we saw all the trash that was dumped into the what do you call it, the drainage and stuff. Now, you know, that's not mostly people who live in there doing that. There's a lot of other people driving to the neighborhoods because they know it's uncared about, and they dump in their neighborhood. Now, if you go into River Oaks or somewhere like that, or Beverly Hills, they don't have all that issue because it's nice, and people just have a different mentality about things. So if there's reinvestment, I think this will solve a lot of it. Reinvestment, because look at the attitude of those people. You didn't see the video, but they're like, no, we waited a long time to have something nice, and we're not going to allow people. And somebody said that the people that came in there don't live there, regardless if they live there or not. They said, we're not going to allow people to come in here and ruin what we have. We want to keep it nice. So that I think that's a major reason why. The other thing is, some people say, well, you know, they still should keep it nice. Yes. But the other thing too is black people pay taxes as well. So that money that's going into other neighborhoods to keep them up, refurbish them, and keep them nice, and keep the gutters clean and the potholes, that's taxpayers' money. So black people are also paying taxes. Their resources should be allocated to those neighborhoods as well, to what they call beautify instead of gentrify the black neighborhoods.
Well, no, that makes sense. I mean, that's voting at a local level. I mean, that's the council members. That's them you know, the people that they keep voting for sending that money in other places. I've sat in council meetings and I've watched people ask for dollars from council members. So that's local level stuff. Those people, they want to keep voting for the liberals and voting. That's what they get. You know, like a lot of that's gonna change when they start voting for other people. But the point I was making was, when is it okay to just you grab the ball? Like, it's nice that people are cleaning up. They should, you know, and I agree. Yeah, you got to fix up neighborhoods, and you know, they should be nice. You should have a nice spot. Everyone should, you know. But when do we say, as a Black people, we're not going to rely on our few celebrities and to, you know, move the needle? We're going to actually do it. You know,
well, I mean, I think it's a good example of what we're seeing now. I have a question on deck for you as well. Where's a good example of what we're seeing now? You know, and maybe I should play the video again for those of y'all who did not see it. I'm going to show y'all real quick. But Walter, if you can answer this question as I bring it up.
Can a trust own an LLC or vice versa? That's what I'd have to know more details. I mean, a living trust, it's good to have a trust because the trust is notarized and it becomes law. You have it notarized. So you do a living trust. So let's say I'm gonna put my watch in my trust, and I probably should. It's a nice one. Let's say I put this in my trust. What I do is everything I put in the trust, I have to put in the back of a trust, what's called Schedule A. So you have to put it in there. And then assets like cars and homes the title just needs to be changed to the name of the trust. Once that's done properly, which is called funding the trust, then it makes sense because the trust has real power. Matter of fact, it's funny. I'm doing some financial planning for somebody. The living trust is law. So that's for like incapacitation, death. So if you can't make decisions, somebody else can. Everyone should have a trust, period. I don't care how much money you got, even if you want your wishes to be, you know, you want to be taken care of. If you want your housekeeper to be curvy and have long hair, like in my trust, then you need to have that writing and notarized. A will is just an intention, so it's good to have a trust. Where an LLC is just a company, take the person out of the company and the company lives forever. It just gives you some protection. I would have to know more about it to kind of find out what you're trying to get done, because sometimes you don't want your everything in one trust, because if you put your LLC in the trust and somebody goes to sue you and they get a hold of the trust, they can see all your stuff. Versus sometimes it's good to keep them separate. There's other things you can do too. If you really got that kind of stuff going on where you need to worry about protection, and there's other things you can do to, protect your stuff. And the other thing I would say is, I'll just use the Andrew Tate's method, is if you're going to start something, just start it. Do the LLC once you start making some money. Because you do the LLC, you're going to get 4 million pieces of paper from the government, taxes, this tax, $800 tax here, there. You don't get 4 million pieces of mail with taxes due on an LLC that ain't made 4 cents. So,
got you.
I hope that kind of answers the question.
Cool. So I'm gonna play this video, and Thunder, if you have any more questions about that, just throw it in the chat. All right. So here's the actual video, so we can get a better context for those of you guys who came in. And Kimmy, how you doing? Long time no see.
What up, girl? Kimmy in the house.
Tonight.
So now, guess what? We patrolling right here, and that's where we gonna be at. It gotta stop, and we gonna put a stop to it. We don't need no police involved. We're gonna take it to the streets.
Tough talk from locals who are taking the targeting personally.
Yeah, I'm born and raised right here, you know what I'm saying? So like, y'all take it from me.
Why is it frustrating to you?
Cause we ain't the one doing it and we live here. But if they come right here while we right here, they won't be the ones doing it either.
Right.
Guarantee that.
Until those efforts reach Watts, some who live here say they are going to help protect their own.
Look, take a look. We look good. We finally doing something. They need to just leave us alone. They need to go about their business. Don't ever come back here. This community already rough. They just making.
So I hope that helps better understand. So I want to replay it because that's a damn good start. You know, they're taking pride in where they live. They have something to be prideful about, right? So with that's what we call community policing, right? Policing ourselves, rather. We're policing ourselves, or and saying, hey, we have something nice. We want to keep it that way. And we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that, elements that are adverse to what we're trying to do here, that they don't do it anymore. And so, I think it's a wonderful start. There's a lot of reasons why, our neighborhood looks the way it does, but I would say most definitely is because there's not any reinvestment in there. Those apartments, the Jordan Down apartments, they've been there since the 1940s. And they call them like barrack housing, where they have the bars and stuff all on the wall, and they hadn't had any major renovations since. So, but everything else around it has progressed. But, our neighborhoods, if you will, don't progress. And so, if you kind of used to going home to the same old environment, it's like, but you go home, you go in there and it's nice, and they've got nice stores and buildings, and the apartments are nice. Yeah, you have a little sense of pride. So I think it's a great start.
Yeah, I think it's a great start too. But see, the problem I think is that's what happens when you get comfortable in your environment. Just like the civil rights generation dropped the damn ball in moving the ball forward. When you get comfortable because they give you a few token this, a few token that. We got to get to a point where we teach the next generation, this is the next step. We got to have, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has said it from day one. The blueprint is there. Like you say, Demetra, it's a matter of which blueprint do we decide to use. Again, where we're seeing as people are waking up in the political realm, where you're not going to be sitting up in there like Maxine Waters for 30 years and have nothing to show for your congressional record for your people. That's just not going to happen anymore. So I think that, people are finally saying, you know what, no matter, there's an old saying, home is where the heart is and all this other stuff, whatever that good feeling is. But there is some truth to that. And, and no matter where you live, you got to have pride in it. The problem is Black folks, historically and ancestrally, just like the Native Indians, we are just such a loving people. And when we saw that white man come into the United States or come in, and hang with us, we should have sent him packing right then and there. So we have to be a little bit more guarded and purposeful in the direction we want to take our neighborhoods and stuff. Start showing up at the city council meetings, because that's where it starts. They got a chick right now in Dothan, Illinois. This chick is running the city like Nino Brown from New Jack City. And right now the FBI is on her ass because her problem is she doesn't know when to quit. I think they're calling her Teflon Tiffany Hinyard. And they're on her ass right now. But the fact of the matter is, she won with 86% of the vote, and they're having a hard time getting her out. You got to remember, we are the bosses. They are the servants. If they ain't doing what we want them to do, you got to get them up out of there. But we got to start teaching the younger people to go to those city council meetings. And we're not saying physically. You got city TV, you got the internet. There's all kinds of things that you can watch and participate via email, whatever, to where your voice can be heard. There's no longer an excuse of, oh, I'm working, I got this, I got that. You can sit it back on the replay any time of day. But you got to be active in your local politics.
Yeah, be active in your local politics. One, and by Damon, Maxine Waters is actually out here in California. She's in LA.
Yeah, so it's not her though. I just looked. It's Nanette Diaz-Barragan. She is the council person over Watts, the 44th district. So Maxine is more South Central.
Yeah, she's got a bigger district. It's funny. I had dinner with Maxine Waters at the Voodoo Lounge in LA. We spent, me, her, and my buddy Terrell, I was just talking about, we spent $5,000 on drinks and appetizers after dinner. Craziness. So, I mean, but the government stuff, I think we're, Jay-Z said once, we're way past kneeling. We're past that shit. The government stuff, they got so much stuff going on at the government, and it's an election year next year. Ain't nothing gonna move next year. They ain't gonna do nothing but try and get reelected. So what we need to do is we need to start. Black people need to start acting like individuals. We don't have to do everything together. So we need to cut this shit out. Oh, black people, we need to reunite. No, we don't. We need to take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me stop right there.
Let me finish because I know I know where you're going. Let me finish my thought. I'm saying my Mexican neighbors and my Jewish friends, they don't be talking about protesting and reuniting. They individually go out and get their own shit. And it makes their people stronger as a, let me finish. It makes their people stronger as a group if every person is working on themselves.
So yeah, absolutely. I absolutely I get what you're saying. And Dr. Claude Anderson always talks about, how we as Black people the exceptional Negro, individual basis. Yeah, so I agree with that. We do take care of ourselves.
And not an exceptional Negro. I know a lot of
brothers. Wait, let me finish.
That drive buses.
Yeah, but wait. I'm not saying. So what I'm saying is, yes, we have that, but you're wrong. Other communities do work in tandem. They work together. Yeah, wait.
I'm saying you don't always hear them talking about like reuniting.
Because it's second nature to them. That's why they don't need to talk about it. It's second nature. It's something that was taught to them. You got to remember that you're dealing with a people that was removed from all of that. A number has been done on Black people in America. And I'm not saying that there's things that we should not be doing. Absolutely. It should be. And I need my Muslim family in here to correct me. But my father always talks about how it was, I forget which president it was. But he was having a conversation with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the president was saying basically, trying to be positive in regards to Black people. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you have better luck putting pants on an elephant than you would teaching the Black man that he is not a Negro. Point being that there's a number been done on Black people in America. So we weren't really taught what Asians and Hispanics were taught, although we do have those conversations. And so we have to have the conversation about save yourself, yes, but we have to save ourselves as a collective too, because we as Black people aren't going to make it on an individual basis. It just does not happen. Yeah, you have yourself, you have a Donovan, y'all, doing well individually, but when it comes down to it, you cannot have bragging rights about your people being Black people doing well together.
Okay, but you missed my point. What I'm saying is everybody could work on themselves. Like, for instance, like the exceptional Negro, I don't really understand that, because I know a lot of brothers that just have good jobs and they take care of their families. The problem with Black people, I think sometimes we have this, like, a brother that's driving the bus. Like if you watch a Tyler Perry movie, some of these movies, they got the brother on the bus. He's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? But they make him out to seem like he's less than fortunate, but he ends up with the hot chick or the girl of the movie. But those brothers driving the buses are making 50, 60 grand. They're taking care of their families.
Well, I think that's define the exceptional Negro is not a man who's driving a bus or not driving a bus. Exceptional Negro is like you Negroes over there. I'm doing well behind my gated community. It's the talented 10th, if you will, that was supposed to come back, but they did not. They went behind gated communities and said, stay away from me. That's what the exceptional Negro. So it's not the one that's driving a bus, opposed to ones driving the state.
I understand what you're saying, but and again, I don't have a problem with the brother that wants to make money and move behind the gates. That's his business. For whatever reason, Black people, we feel like when we do well, we have to stay there in the shit. It's your right. If you make money, you can move. Like I spent Christmas with Nipsey Hussle at a Jay-Z event right before he was murdered. This dude was in the streets trying to talk to people, making his videos, no security, rolling down the street, in his store, hanging out. That shit don't pay.
Well, so nobody's saying that we should not, go do better. We're not saying that, but we're saying Black people need to start moving in tandem as a collective. We are the only group of people who believe that we don't need to do that. But every other group, they do it. Like I said, it's second nature to them. They don't, trust me, they have the conversations. They don't do it out in the open like we do, but that's second nature to them. And for example, when an Asian has to go to the grocery store, they don't say, okay, well, make sure you shop Asian today. Make sure you go to the Korean market. Make sure you go to the Japanese, Chinese. They don't have to say that. They know they go in there just on the strength. If they go, they don't have what they need in their stores. And yeah, they'll go to a Kroger, Stater Brothers, or a Rouse, or whatever the case is. But that's not something they have to remind each other. Us, hey, make sure you try to shop Black today. We have to have those conversations still, because it is ingrained in us that is not second nature, and it should be. So it's not to say you can't go do well by yourself or you're a bad guy for moving out the neighborhood. It's like, move out, but don't forget your people. That's what the premise is.
Well, no, I understand what the premise is. I know we judge people make money and then we say, okay, he left the neighborhood. But like, I don't see a problem with that. And I get it. Yeah, you should help the people, but like, for how long do you have to? It's like, I'll just break it down. First of all, being these days, starting something and being successful at it takes a lot more work than it used to. There's a lot going on right now in the economy. Even in my car business, I noticed that it's slowing down. So I'm working twice as hard to make the same money. I know things are good. So to make it these days, and then when you finally get some breathing room, a lot of times we ain't trying to go back and deal with the struggle, go back and fight the good fight anymore. Sometimes you just want to take a break and sit your ass down on the couch and take a breath. I know that's how I get sometimes. And I've spent my adult life trying to help Black people. And you know this, but that shit is exhausting. Sometimes I just want to be like,
you know what though? But when I hear that and I hear people say that kind of stuff, I also hear Farrakhan say, and Farrakhan has dedicated his whole life.
But Farrakhan lives in those.
Wait a minute, though.
Farrakhan lives behind the gate.
Can I say it? No, wait. But one thing and he's getting up there in age, but one thing we ain't never gonna do is begrudge Farrakhan. But let me finish, because you can't talk over me. You can't, because they can't hear us together.
I know, D, but you cut me off when I was talking. And Farrakhan said it himself. He was asked, where do you live? He goes, my neighborhood is integrated. Those were his exact words.
Absolutely.
Protection. He moves behind the gates.
Absolutely. But see, you're missing the point, though. Nobody's saying you can't live behind the gates. But one thing I'll tell you about Farrakhan before he got up in age, Farrakhan came from outside of the gates and he walked amongst the people. So he didn't go, live behind the gates and never was seen or heard from again. Farrakhan was in the trenches with our people in the hood with our people, telling them he loved them, uplifting and all that. So Farrakhan, if Farrakhan can dedicate his whole life trying to impress upon and save Black people and deliver them the word of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, then sometimes I think that too, and I'm like, but who the hell am I? I haven't dedicated one fraction of my life like Farrakhan has to trying to help Black people. So who are we to say, I'm gonna just give up on our people?
Not give up. Take care of yourself. And Farrakhan, that is his job, and his sole job is to do what he is doing. He has an organization that is well put together, well oiled to do exactly what he is doing. That is his role. His job is his sole purpose in life is to do what he's doing. If we had Farrakhan funding and we were in a position that funding those assets and those resources, a lot of us could do that. So I think Farrakhan is the exception here. That's the point I'm making, is a lot of people do well and they go put themselves in a safe position. That's the point I'm making. Sometimes people just want to do better. So why can't we as Black people say, okay, that dude is doing better, I'm gonna follow his lead? What's wrong with us doing well and saying, this brother moved out? And you can go to YouTube and see these brothers telling you, like, I listened to the Wall Street Trapper. Dude was in prison, came out, he's dropping Wall Street knowledge every day. All day, every day.
That I have, Walter, not to cut you off, but the problem that I have is we got to be, it's like double dutch. We got to be able to jump in. You know what I'm saying?
I got a rope.
The problem that I'm having is I showed a video of Black people saying everything you just said. We are standing up to protect our neighborhood. We want to keep it nice. So I guess I'm trying to understand, how did we get to here? I know somebody asked the question of why is it like that in the first place? And I gave it some context, but then yet we're still beating up Black people. And so when I see Black people have that attitude, I get buoyant about it. I get excited.
Well, nobody's beating up Black people. Those people are protecting, they're protecting their neighborhood. It's theirs. That's the point. That's their neighborhood. They're protecting it. That's what they should be doing. They're making their neighborhood nice.
So what's the problem?
There is no problem with what they're doing. I wish every Black neighborhood would do that, because then those cats, when they bring those stolen goods back into the neighborhood, they'll be like, no, you can't bring that shit up in here. Where'd you get that shit? Take it back. Like, that's the only way, one of the only ways black people, we're going to get moving is if we start checking each other and not the swing low shit. Like, my buddy sent me a picture of Martin Luther King in jail. And Martin Luther King's all suited up. And then they got another picture of him with the photographer in the jail cell with him. And so the point he was making was, it's funny when they did the protest, the guys got beat up and they're out there protesting, getting hit with hoses and dragged. But when Martin Luther King, when they took his mugshot, he was all suited up clean. He wasn't bruised. He wasn't beat up. So that a lot of that stuff was for show. And even taking this back further, you want to talk about, like, when you look at like, we're talking about the government like doing stuff for black people, which I feel like they've done some. They could do a lot more. But we had a lot of industry. Who was the brother that just started Ford? Henry Ford started all kinds of black schools. And who's the brother he was working with? I want to say the peanut dude. Gave him tons of money just to open black schools, teach black people. And you know who cut that shit off? What's his name? The leader of the NAACP. I can't remember.
Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, but the other brother that was running NAACP, whatever his name was, the founder, whatever, or the dude, you know what I'm talking about, the guy that was running.
It's white people that founded it. You're talking about the peanut dude is George Washington Carver.
Right.
Somebody said, Carver's black is how you doing. W.B. Du Bois. W.B. Du Bois.
He gave Booker T a hard time for taking money from Henry Ford. Called him a sellout, blah, 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 blah. So my question is, what kind of help do we have to take? And I know a lot of organizations that donate money to black organizations. And where in the hell is the BLM money? And black people, where is
all right? But let me say this, because I think we're getting off on the wrong page. I didn't mean for it to take the turn that it's taking. And Black America, Farrakhan does not get paid to do that. So don't lie on the minister. One thing that I will not tolerate, and y'all know me by now, is people lying on the minister. That get you blocked real quick. Don't lie on the minister. He does not get paid to do any of that. Farrakhan has been doing this for over 60 years. He is 90 years old. He does not get paid. It has not been paid nearly enough. If that's what y'all think Farrakhan has been paid enough to deal with the headaches of our people? Y'all really think that? If you really think that, you are sadly mistaken. But what we're not going to do is lie on the minister. We're not going to do that.
I think what he's trying to say is he's getting paid for. He's being taken care of, and he should. He should be taken care of to do that. A lot of religious leaders get taken care of.
So what's the issue?
There's no issue with that. He should be taken care of. I'm the first person to get on here and say people like him should be paid and should be well taken care of. I think that of Brother Farrakhan. I think that of T.D. Jakes, Joe Osteen, Greg Lowry, you name it. Those cats, they get on there and they make the people better. They should be compensated for it. Just like a wellness coach or a personal trainer. You improve somebody's life, you should be compensated. I have zero issues with Farrakhan getting a check. He should get paid. Why wouldn't he? Everyone else is getting paid.
Thunder has a question. If you own your property, if you own paid off property like a home, how can you use that home to get a multi-family home?
You know, it's funny. I was just having this conversation with somebody. If you have home equity, I mean, right now the rates are insane. I guess it really depends on what you're trying to do. Like, what I would probably do, this is going to shake some feathers, but I'm just going to shake. I would probably, right now, if it were me, I'd probably sell my house. I would sell my house. I would take that money and I would go out. Let's say you got 400 grand for your house. I would take that 400 grand, maybe take 200 grand of it and say, you know what, I'm going to allocate this for some, a couple fourplexes. Maybe I go out and buy 8 units. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I go out and spend, you figure a unit is about 50 grand a unit going back east. So 50 grand a unit, that's 4 units, that's 200 grand. You know what I'm saying? So for 200 grand, you could buy 4 units, or 200 grand, you can make a down payment. You can put 100 grand down, which is a lot, but it still gives you some security. Put 100 grand down and you have these 2 4-plexes. You have 8 units with 200 grand. You pay a little mortgage and you let 8 people pay you. and then you take the income from those 8 people, and then you go out and rent something for a little while, give the interest rates time to cool off, and then you take that other 200 grand and you put it somewhere rock solid, just leave it somewhere, and you give yourself opportunity for things to change. The book I sent you, D, I think I've sent it to everybody, The Philosophy of Money. The guy talks about having cash for an opportunity. You see a lot of big businesses that go out of business, some humongous companies that have gone out of business. Bed Bath & Beyond, WeWork, the list goes on. Companies that used to be here, Woolworth, just poof, puff the magic dragon out of here. They're gone. But if they would have enough cash, right? Or like long-term capital, Donovan, the investment company that went out of business, the big one, the bank here in, we have 2 banks in Newport Beach and San Francisco, First Republic and Silicon, gone. They don't have enough cash. So by having money liquid, it gives you time to breathe and go, okay, let me see what the hell's going on. That's what I would do. I would sell my homes because home prices there's still a shortage, and they're starting, I've noticed home prices are starting to creep up a little bit in some areas. What happens is when the interest rates drop next year, there are a lot of people that need to move out of their houses and sell and get into something else. And I think when the rates drop, you're going to see home prices fall because a lot of people that have been wanting to sell will be able to sell. And when you got everybody trying to sell, prices come down. So I would sell my stuff right now, and I would go into those investment properties and then let them pay me. So then when you get ready to buy a house, the income from those 8 units can then pay your mortgage. It's kind of like the whole house hack thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you can, I just put my master bedroom on Airbnb. I sleep on the couch most nights, and I got without going into my personal business. You can do stuff like that. You turn your house into an investment. So if your house is paid off and it's worth 400 grand, you're just sitting on 400 grand. You can't borrow the money out of it. Good luck doing a refinance these days. You got to get blood, sweat, and tears. And the interest rates are 8%, maybe 7%, versus just selling it. Because a lot of people out there are stuck in this crazy, I got to buy a house. I got to buy a house before the train leave. Sell it to one of them cats. And you go buy the investment property and then swing back around and buy and get another house, move down the street. Maybe that's what I would do.
All right. So Nora, and I hope that helps. Thunder. Nora, she says you have to remember there was a time when we thought and supported our own business like other communities. The difference is these other communities and businesses and towns were not destroyed by white supremacy. You see, a lot of times people like to leave that off when we're having that Black people need to pull themselves up by the bootstrap a conversation when we know that Black people don't have the same bootstraps everybody else has. In the times that we did pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, white supremacy was there to remind us that we're not pleased with the progress that you're making. So thank you for interjecting that. Urban Bake.
Is that our issue right now, though? And I think that's part of the
problem. It is. Yes, it is.
And the jar thing going on right now, because they took it from us once, they're going to take it again.
Walter.
No, let me finish.
I was talking and you cut me off.
Oh, my apologies. I don't think we're dealing with that right now. Not that way. Yeah, but shit, I don't know. Joe Biden's president. Anything is possible. They could drop bombs from the sky. They might hear me talking and drop a bomb on my house. Who knows?
Well, so let me enlighten you if I can do that. There's still in the 2023 Black people having their lands stolen from them by corporations who want to build housing development on it. There's one in South Carolina, is a 90, I think she's 93, 83, 90, something like 93, I think, year-old woman who's had a Civil War property in her family since the Civil War. And a white corporation is trying to steal it from her. They've done everything they could to try to steal it from her, to where people like the Tyler Perrys and Snoop Dogg and all them had to get involved to help her keep that property. I just did a story on another Black ladies on the African Diaspora News Channel today that's having the same thing happen to her. All these another corporation trying to build a housing development. So there's copious amounts of examples of that's still going on as we speak. In 2023, Black people are still having their land stolen from them by white supremacy. So I hate the conversation of, it's not still going on today. It's absolutely going on today. Now, is it going on where they're dropping bombs on our Black communities? No, they're not still doing that, but they're doing it under the radar and stealing people's property and messing with Black people even to this day. So, you know, in historical Black land like Gullah Geechee land, that belonged to Black people. But yet they're trying to, white corporations are trying to steal it and build waterfront properties on it, bullying that old lady for what? So, yeah, it's still going on. Now, we should never, as Black people in America, still think that because we don't, because of course they're not going to play that stuff all up on the mainstream media. As that's why we are important, so we could cover those stories and let people know that that stuff is still going on. But yeah, we should never be deceived in that. Oh, that was yesterday. That's not still going on here in Mississippi right now. They discovering that Black people, Black men were buried without the consent and knowledge of their family, just thrown into mass graves after, in one particular situation, Dexter Wade, police officer ran him over and they buried him and didn't tell his mama where he was for months. Just burying Black people. There's like a grave. There's 24 Black people missing, and they're unearthing them in graves that the city of Jackson, Mississippi decided to just throw them away like garbage. So when we say, oh, that stuff is not still going on, oh, it's still going on. But see, what happens is we get into our little enclaves and away from in individuality, then we're not connected to the stuff that's going on in our community.
I understand what you're saying. You're talking to me, so you know I understand all the shit you're talking about. But the point I'm making is, okay, so all that shit's going on. What do we yes, we have to come.
I just showed you a video of what people doing about it.
That is what we should be doing, though. But that is the first time I've heard that, seen a video like that. We need more videos like that all over the planet.
But see, it's a lie, though. I'm gonna tell you this.
Doing that.
But wait, I need to say this. That's the first time you're seeing a video like that. But we got New Era Chicago, we got New Era Detroit, you got the Nation of Islam, you got Brother Tyrone Muhammad, and all these other organizations out there. They're doing just that. But again, because it's not in the mainstream
they
media,
have been doing that, though. Those organizations have been doing that. I'm talking about like what I'm seeing here. I'm assuming that's in LA. I've been to Nicholson Gardens, so I've been.
Right. Yeah, Jordan Downs.
Matter of fact, I went. This is where they buried Melody, I think, across the street from the. So I was there. I've seen this place, but we need to see more of that. Black people saying, you know what, enough is enough at that level. I know we got the Nation of Islam, we got leaders doing. I'm talking about at that level. We need to see more of that going on. That's not really the stuff you see a lot. I'm surprised that even really went viral, something like that, because normally people are good at burying stuff like that. So we need to see more of that. But in the meantime, we do need to take, and I'm not saying don't take care of Black people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you have to take care of yourself. Like conversation I had last night, I've heard two people have hit me with this. And I saw a brother talk about this on YouTube. He goes, you know what? We have this go back to Africa movement. He goes, but the Africans don't even want us there.
And that's not true, because we was in Africa, and that's not true.
Let me tell you, I'm talking about the conversations I'm having and what people are saying. Yeah, I'm not saying all Africans don't want us, but I'm just talking about the narrative. Black people in America, if you look at Black people around the world, where would you say Black people have the most opportunity? If you had to pick a country, forget all the madness. If you were an alien, you came down, and you looked at every single country and looked at Black people, what would you say? What country do they have it the best in?
Well, I would say that the Black people will definitely have it on the continent of Africa. We would have better opportunities because there's more of
right now. Talking about right now, we're Black people doing the best on planet Earth. Where do they have the most rights, the most opportunity? You can become a billionaire Black man, born in Chicago, work at McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, put out an album, become a billionaire, run multiple, you name it, fashion houses, just do it all from the streets of Chicago or New York and on and on and on. Where else can you do that? You can't do that in Belize. You can't do that in Cuba, right? You can't do that. I mean, where else can you really do that?
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but then it also negates the legitimate beefs, like Jessica here, and she says they are taking property by probate process, and Black America says they're trying to pay her for it. How are you gonna pay me for something I'm not trying to sell you? You see what I'm saying?
I-
Then they go about lying and saying it's not her property and all this other madness, right? Just the stuff that they typically do to Black people. But you say that's for sure. And I see Walter's point though. But there are current strategies to take Black people's property today. Yeah, they're doing it every day. I mean,
I agree with that. It's happening all the time, and it's not going to stop. Us sitting here talking about it, and we've been talking about it for decades. And think about this for 1 second. We have the biggest media presence, Black people, right now. TikTok, Instagram, we have all kinds of outlets, and this stuff is still happening. Matter of fact, the more power we get our voice, it seems like the more it keeps happening. So how do we fix it? And if she's going through probate, that generally, when you go through probate, means that there was paperwork that wasn't done properly, and the government, they're masters of exploiting a weakness in your paperwork.
So, but why though? It's been in her property since the Civil War. Why even try to do that unless there's racism or big bank to take little bank? We can, right? We're going to take your land from you. It's been in your property, your family since the Civil War. So we're going to take it from you?
Well, I know eminent domain, and I'm just talking as a whole, as a human race, eminent domain. When the government or a large corporation decides that they want something, they're going to take your house. Matter of fact, you know, the Mexican guy that lives in front of the Home Depot and the McDonald's there on, what is that? Is it Madison?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That's Madison, and is it Jefferson?
Yeah, Jefferson, Madison, Jefferson.
The little Mexican dude, they tried taking his land and they built a McDonald's and the Home Depot around this cat's house. This fool lived in the Home Depot parking lot. So he was like, "You're going to have to shoot me."
Yeah, that happened to Walk. His name was Walk. He owned the place over there where the Metrolink and the Applebee's and all that is, all that downtown, all that belonged to a Black man, and they eminent domained it from him. He didn't want to sell that to them.
Yeah, I know the brother that owned. I had dinner at Mario's a couple months ago, and they talked about grams. Like the dude and the chef Leon, he was just like, the city wanted us to come take this spot. They wanted Graham. They wanted in so many words, and he had too much to drink, and he was just being real. They wanted him out of here.
Hold on a second. OG Green Machine, how you doing? He said, and I've been reading your comments. I'm really trying to get an understanding from what it is you're doing. He says, you can't have it both ways. You were speaking for the collective. Religion help at all. She wouldn't have the show, and the lady talking right now would have nothing to complain about. First of all, I never told you to join any religion, as I'm not religious. I'm not a part of any religion, but I do ascribe to the Nation of Islam's teaching because it is the right teaching. But as far as me not having this show at all, nothing to complain about, I don't know what you're talking about. Explain yourself.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. I mean, without digging in the trash and getting all crazy here, let's stick to the point. I mean, what I was saying earlier is we as individuals can work on ourselves, then we can become stronger together. Trying to get Black people right now to unite and do something together. Think about this. We had George Floyd get murdered on camera and the whole world saw it. How long the video was, we saw it. And even with that, which made everybody angry. I know Blacks, Mexicans, Asians, everybody was pissed about that. I see Black Lives Matter movements in my place in Joshua Tree. Black Lives Matter posters all down the street and ain't a Black person in sight. So we had all this shit going on and nothing changed for Black people. Like, name something that changed. One thing that changed for Black people. And what did we get? The BLM movement and the House in the Bahamas. What did Black people get? Trying to get together, swing low, sweet chariot. Not a damn thing. We need to take care of our own house, make our own house strong, and then we go out and say, hey, my house is strong, your house is strong, let's help his house get strong. But me on an airplane trying to give you a mask when I can't breathe is suicide. And I think that's what happens. That is what's happening to Black people. And we're waiting on each other. Let's get together, y'all, in March. No, those days are over. We need to take care of our own house and then make us like Donovan's house. He's over there, like Donovan ain't stressing out. Now, Donovan's easier for him to go out and help somebody else, right?
Hey, hey, honeydew, how you doing? My father actually knows Danny Bakewell, and I've met him as well. So, you don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know what I know, what I've done, or any of that kind of stuff. So, Yeah. There's somebody asked you a question as well. Let's see here. Can you quickly answer this question?
Yes, absolutely. It's actually you can do that. Matter of fact, again, the paperwork I was dealing with earlier, they left the trust as beneficiary, and it's not a horrible idea because what happens is, let's say you leave money to one of your kids, and your kid gets bamboozled by the mama. You know what I'm saying? Then his mind is altered, and now all of a sudden, all that money you left is not going to what you wanted. Leaving to a trust, you can leave instructions in the trust. And then the trust, what happens with the trust is the trust has certain rules. So you can say in your trust, everybody, here's $2 million. Everybody is to get so much money per year. And then they're supposed to get money. What am I trying to say? They're supposed to get money in year 2, year 3, year 4, blah, blah, blah. You can do that. So the trust is a good tool, if that makes sense. So I would do the trust actually isn't a bad idea. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I Thunder, I hope that makes sense. So I see Jessica and Donovan having a discussion about trust and probate and stuff like that.
You want to get legal advice. So you guys, a living
Yeah,
trust
please
may
do.
cost you $1,200. Like listen, you guys, we keep saying the same stuff over and over. Go up and get advice. Like this trust, this folder I'm dealing with, the lady died and left her family $3 million. $3 million. They don't have a pot to piss in because it wasn't done right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the lady worked forever and she got dementia and they just ignored this shit for years. She died and it's like, what's homeboy doing? It's a mess. What they could have went out and said, hey, mom's not doing well. We should go check on her. You know what I'm saying? It's $1,200 or $2,000 to have all her stuff redone. They didn't want to do it. Oh, money's not everything. We don't really care about her money. Now she's dead. Oh, they're like, oh, we care about the money. So get your stuff in order. It's not even that complicated. You start with something small. And for whatever reason, and I don't want to keep harping on my people, but like, why can't we just do one small thing at a time? Like I always say, buy you a piece of property. I don't give a damn if it's a ink spot on the corner. Get you something that you can put something on. Just a spot. Like Donovan got his house paid off. Like if the world Joe Biden gets elected again, he ain't gonna have to move. He ain't gonna be on the pole, ball headed freak in the house. I mean, like he got a house with land. You know what I'm saying? I tell all my friends. I was gonna tell all my hoes rig it up. No, I tell all my. I don't know why that popped into my mind. I tell all my friends, buy you a piece of property so when the shit hits the fan, and it will, you own something. Now don't buy it in the middle of a mall development. Or they go. I mean, even if your stuff gets taken from you by the government, they will cut you a check.
Can you answer this question that's up here? Donovan, go ahead.
Yeah, well, Walter, I want to ask you this real quick. in regards, since we're talking about like affairs and stuff like that, we're talking about wills or whatever, and that situation with the lady that you're dealing with their family. I haven't updated my my will and my affairs. I haven't looked at it in like 10 years.
Oh, just put me in it. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, so because some people, especially our people, if we even do what you're suggesting, we do it and then we leave it. Like I said, I haven't looked at mine in 10 years. So would you suggest a certain time frame to kind of upgrade it and look at it and say, okay, because things might change. I might have a new baby mama. I might, you know what I mean?
All the time. I look at my stuff every day. Like my original living trust was done in 2007. And I looked at it. Matter of fact, I'm having my trust redone right now. It had my girlfriend Laura in it. Something happens to Laura, something happens to me. Give her and my sisters, and they can hammer it out, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, that's 3 women ago. Laura, it's 3 or 4 women ago. You know what I'm saying? And if my new chick don't straighten up, it's gonna be 5 women ago. So you should look at your stuff all the time because things change. You know, like in my manifesto, if something happens to me, what my kids are to do with me and feed me and what I'm to do, it talks about my housekeeper being this and that and looking like my ex. But now my new chick is like, yo, what's this? I said, oh, I need to update my manifesto. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you should always be looking at your stuff all the time because so many people forget about it and then things change. And then let's say husband and wife got married and she got kids and now you die, the money goes to her, she died, and the money goes to her kids, right? That just happened to my grandfather in Florida. I know for a fact, I watched my grandparents sell their beautiful home on Gillespie in Santa Barbara that's worth $1 million plus and buy a house in Florida, paid off, and old horny Janice, my grandma died, and old Janice slide her big behind down, and she moving. Guess who living in the house right now? Big booty Janice down the street. You know what I'm saying? With the Excedrin and the preparation H all over the place. So yeah, sorry, I was long-winded, but you should always update your stuff.
Let's see here. Facts, not feelings. It says never put your girlfriend in your trust. She can bump you off and take it. And hello to everybody came on here. Al, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that can be a concern. I mean, but that can happen with anybody, somebody you're married to. But one thing I'm gonna tell you is, I don't sell life insurance anymore, but I used to, and I used to hear people say that all the time. Well, I don't want to, put such and such as my beneficiary. They might do something to me. I say, when somebody turns up dead, one of the first people they look at is the beneficiaries of life insurance policy. So y'all can get life insurance on people if you want to, and then you try to bump them off. Y'all gonna be the first people they look at. And then when they find out, oh, there was a life insurance policy taken out 2 weeks ago, then they go looking at the beneficiary. So
100% they do. You the first suspect. They don't die of natural causes. You're the first person they're looking into. Trust and believe that. And that's fantasy. I hear people say that. I don't want Sancho. I don't give a damn if my wife married my brother. As long as he took care of my kids, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And it was my fault. You can't make a whole housewife anyway. So
hello, everybody. So I know that's a concern with people. Well, what if they do something to me? It's like, yeah, they not gonna get away with it because life insurance company, they make money if you live, not die. And so if somebody takes out a life insurance policy and then they end up dead under mysterious circumstances, yeah, they gonna go over it with a fine-tooth comb. See who did it, were you lying about something, or whatever the case is. So it's not as easy as you think it is. It's really not.
And that's, just take care of your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, I left my girlfriend as my trustee, and her and my sisters. I can't remember who I had on it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know you don't know. Money changes people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people, family members will do. I have some stuff going on in not my family, but a family that I used to be connected to. I'm gonna leave it at that. Some wild shit going on that side of the family. And I know if I met with the grandfather, I know this cat left millions and he had it all organized and to the T, and this dude had his stuff together. And it's a hot mess because there's an expression, short sleeves to short sleeves in 2-3 generations. Means guy, hard blue collar worker, stacked this money, saved it, and left it to the next generation. And then the generation after that blew it off and they back at work. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have stuff in place. Put things in writing. Life insurance is so, not only is it dirt cheap, my God. You tell me for $100 a month, you can't leave your family $1 million? And I could see if you were living, you were just scratching up like, I was gonna say baby, but like Thelma and JJ, if you was, and even they kind of had it nice. You know what I'm saying? What times the house wasn't that bad. You scratching like that, I might give you a pass on not having life insurance. But if you out at Fridays and you're doing cool things and you're having a fabulous life and you don't have life insurance, I don't know what kind of person you are.
I just know that, I have life insurance. I have insurance on everything. And there's been times where I struggled really bad, but I never let any of my life insurances lapse. Never. Because one thing I know for sure is if you think times are hard now, just wait till somebody up and die, or you wreck a car or something like that and you don't have it insured. It's kind of hard to cry and grieve and have a car wash or a bake sale, and that costs money to do any of that to try to bury somebody. I often would ask people, and I have like a little series that I have, how many car washes does it take to have a funeral? The question is nobody really knows. You as I say, you might get lucky and have somebody drop the whole thing in the basket, but then the other side of that is you could be out there indefinitely, because most time when the person, you see somebody on the corner and they're having a car wash for a funeral, they'll give $2, $3, $4, $5 to get the car wash. But we know on average what, Walter, a funeral costs what nowadays, just on average?
50 grand with dinners, place, people traveling, hotels, and all that stuff. Because that's what I estimated it costs. We buried our mom. Everybody had to fly in, this, that. I mean, like the costs are like unlimited. And I would beg to say we're still paying some of those costs: time off, grief, not being prepared. And our mom, she went out okay. We didn't have no struggles. We weren't fighting over bills. My mom didn't leave any debt, none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it is expensive. It is expensive to go out.
And enlighten, you say, and how you doing, by the way? You says, you used to be able to buy life insurance on anybody, whether there was a family connection or not. That changed later. Yeah, you got to kind of have some connection to them, whether it's business, a close friend, family. It can't just be like, hey, dude on the corner, I don't know you, but I'd love to put life insurance on you.
There'll be a lot of homeless people missing.
And that's why they do it. That's why they do it like that, because people would be doing that. And then they come up missing or something, get bumped off. So you got to have some sort of a commonality with the person, whether it's key person insurance, somebody is, a key employee that works for you or something like that. Yeah, so yeah, and I'm glad they did it that way, and the person has to know that they're taking life insurance out on you. You can't just say, well, I'm gonna put life insurance on my mama, she don't know about it, because they have to sign as well. They have to be acknowledged that, yes, I know, life insurance is being taken out on me. But yeah, people do all kind of funny stuff.
Real quickly, I know you don't sell insurance anymore, but your advice to people who have young children, the most vulnerable group of people that we have in the human race, and people don't have insurance on their children.
Yeah, you should have your children insured. You can get a baby insured at 10 days old, roughly. And depending on what type of policy you get, you'll pay that premium for the rest of their life. So there's no excuse not to have your children insured. But one thing for sure is when you get older, it's going to be more, because you had some criminal things go on, or maybe you're not as healthy as you used to be, so you get rated at a higher rate. Your premium is higher. So if you have children, it's next to nothing almost to get them insured. But Walter always talks about this. It's hard to to have somebody die, especially a child or a spouse. If people can get over, and I'm still in Walter's talking points at this point, people can get over a spouse dying, but people rarely ever get over a child dying, and a lot of times is most parents have a job. Most jobs only give you 5 days bereavement, 3 paid and two unpaid. You get 5 altogether. And so if you don't have the money to sit home, because I know if I was to lose a child, I want to be at Patton State Hospital. That's the crazy house in California. I want to be there, straight jacket, but my bills are still getting paid, and all that other stuff. A lot of people can't do that. They have to go right back to work. I've seen it when I worked at Frito-Lay. I've seen people come back to work, they boo-hooing, they crying because they, have to go bury their loved one, a husband or a child, and come right back to work. And they didn't have no more vacation time. Bereavement only gives you a certain amount. So the point that I'm making is if you have a life insurance policy, and you got to get enough too, because I know, and we talk about this a lot, life insurance traditionally is, as far as Black people, racist, because they would give us burial policies or just enough, but you got to take into account, as Walter said, how much the funeral is going to cost to get everybody in, the repast and all that other stuff. And how much is it going to cost for you to say, you know what? All right, job, you're not going to give me more than 5 days off. Then I quit. I got enough money. through the life insurance policy to kind of go crazy and take care of myself for a couple of years until I think about going back to work or whatever. So
Yeah,
Right. So basically, life insurance is to maintain the lifestyle of a loved one after you're gone.
it's to protect
Tech.
against death. Is what
yeah,
it is.
and get as much insurance as you can. Like I see, like the burial policies, stay away from those. I know even Global Life, Damon, I know they're popular with kids, but what I have my kids insured with AIG and LSW. So insure your kids where you go, right? Like you wouldn't go to Globe Life. And I know that's what, a lot of times you hear because they're really strong at advertising like that. But you want to go to the big boys, AIG, who's just switched their name to somebody else, National Life. Go to the big boys and get big policies. You know what I'm saying? Like your kid, like life insurance is like this. If I'm married, my wife dies, she has $1.5 million policy. She dies, I'm gonna mourn, but I'm not taking my black ass back to work. I'm gonna shut it down. And me and my kids are gonna do what we need to do for as long as we want to do. Life insurance can be used to secure your family. Like your wife has a job and you die, she should never have to work again. That is what life insurance is for. It is a tool of the rich, a tool to get rich. Grandma, she got $1 million policy. She dies, it's $1 million in the pot, plus the house. Life insurance is not, I got $10,000 burial insurance. No, man, get $1 million. Everybody my kids, I got the most they would let me get from my kids. Morgan, Evan, my kids, they all got life insurance. And I got the max. Why do you need the max? It's none of your business. Something happened to one of my kids. I ain't gonna be like, the most insulting thing is having to go back to work after losing a loved one. I remember even when my mom died, I flew out to Florida and then I came back and I had, because I did a lot of public speaking, and every single person as I'm walking down the hallway, sorry about your mom. Tell me about the funeral. I remember your mom, because my mom was always at the parties and events and, she loved Vegas. But like, I answered that question for weeks. You know what I'm saying? And I went back because I had to go back to work. I had to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And my mom had some illness that she was dealing with. So, getting life insurance for her was tough because she struggled for some time. But like moving forward, with my kids, something happens to me. It's like, yo, dad left us a couple mil. So what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So Morgan doesn't want to go back to work or whatever. She says, my dad left me $1 million. I can do what I feel like doing right now. That's what life insurance is for, to secure your family for the future.
What type of insurance would you suggest? I would think whole life, but
both term and permanent. So I have, and then I'm going to address this Vanderbilt comment from earlier. I have term insurance, which is only for a term, 10, 20, 30 years. That's going to go away. That's super cheap. Then I have what's called a permanent policy, which is smaller because it's more expensive. But that policy, I put money in and that builds up cash value. That policy is going to last until I die, period. That's for life. But that's going to build up cash. And one day that's going to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in it for my retirement, tax-free. Then when I die, my family will get the remainder. If I need medical attention of a certain sort, that policy will then pay for my house, my staff, my attractive nurse. It'll pay for the baby oil. It'll pay for all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got it in writing. Best believe they already know. So, and then the term policy is just like, my main concern is right now, making sure something happens to me, my kids get a ton of money. But in 20 years, after my kids they each have saved a couple $1 million of their own because they're taking my advice and they're saving money and not dating and blowing money and blah, blah, blah. They got $1 million saved. Then my concern is not making them a millionaire. It's now making sure that I don't become a liability. And so my smaller policy, that's 300 grand, that maybe will be 800, 900, depending on how much cash is in it, can then leave them money, so they can do some other stuff and not me be a liability. Because I don't want them to have to take off, dad passed away, and we're taking off to deal with his shit. Like, no, here's a couple million. Y'all can leave everything just how it was. Matter of fact, you don't even have to go to the house and clean up. Just let them have it all.
Let me address Miss Ashlyn. How you doing? You say, But if they have pre-existing medical condition, they normally don't pay out. They run every test known to men before they cut that check. If they do after the contestability period, which is usually 2 years, then they'll honor the policy. But before the contestability period, which means that they can contest it before the 2 years, yeah, they more than likely will make sure that you died of something that they already knew about, right? So yeah, but after 2 years, they have to pay it out.
And they will. You best believe you. I had a client. Me and my ex-girlfriend sold life insurance too. She died of lupus in Transamerica. That she died like a year and a half in the policy. They denied her claim because she had an unusual pap smear 10 years ago and forgot to put it on the questionnaire, and they denied her for that. So life insurance companies, don't get it twisted. They're in business to make money. I'm not saying they're wholly life insurance companies. They are in business to get paid, period. So yeah, they're going to deny you if they can, just like an auto insurance company will. That's their goal. Don't forget, you guys, Transamerica, and they're a shitty company. I wouldn't deal with them. But AIG, LSW, they're in business to make money. They make money by insuring your life. 100 million people pay into this policy and 500,000 die. They still got money. So that is what life insurance is for. And you can use it. I'm telling you guys, start your little permanent policy. And if you want to help Black people, find you a Black agent and go do business with him or her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you got a question, you can hit us up and say, hey, I want life insurance. What type of policy should I get? We can give you a general idea because we don't sell it. But get as much as you can, as much as you can afford. You know what I'm saying? Go do business with a Black insurance agent and make sure that a Black person is beneficiary. That's how you help the Black community. Because I tell you what, if we go back 30 years and every Black person had $1 million policy and it went to a Black person, we'd be having a different conversation today.
And let me address your average logical thinker. He says, I was advised not to keep my kids' life insurance if I have savings that can cover funeral expenses, to invest that money in the stock market instead. I have yet to cancel that policy. I know what company told you to do that. I think I do. But yeah.
Let's stop listening to those idiots. Please, whoever told you that, report them to somebody. Please. Number one, having someone cancel their life insurance policy is borderline a criminal offense. And I'm being serious.
It is.
You cancel somebody's life insurance, that they have a term for that, churning, I believe.
It is.
And that is against the law. I know Prime America, they're notorious for doing that. Do not do that. First of all, that's not how that works. You don't save up for an emergency. How in the hell do you save for an emergency? Emergencies pop up. You know what I'm saying? The emergency that you can't protect against, like dying prematurely, you buy life insurance so you don't have to save for the emergency. Yeah, don't listen to that idiot. I would run like hell. Run like the Klan is coming. You know what I'm saying? Get away from that person. Seriously.
Thunder says, what are some budget-friendly life insurance companies? They all kind of are around the same. It's by the type of policy, because they all kind of go on like a market rate, Walter.
Yeah, I like some, like I said, AIG is a really good one. LSW is good. There's actually quite a few of the big boys that you can deal with that are really good. Still with the giant company, somebody too big to fail. Like AIG, if they would have collapsed, it would have brought the world economy down. Right? That's why they saved AIG, and AIG had assets. But do business with somebody that is too big to fail. Bugs Bunny said you can't beat them, join them. We don't need to swing low. Life insurance companies did my grandma dirty, so I ain't gonna get none. No, just find you a big company and do business with them. And then you check that box off the list. I know right now, if I die, my kids, they're loaded. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they know what to do with the money. Lord knows I've left them 32 pages of instructions.
They're like, okay, where's the page where the money's at?
You know what I'm saying? They can't get. I left them clear instructions. I mean, my shit. So, and the crazy part is, Black people, when you sit down with your kids, this is the shit you talk about. my kids come over. If my kids were here at dinner tonight, you know, we'd be talking about the same damn thing. What are you doing with your money? How much money you have saved? What are you doing? Are you clear on this? It's what we talk about all the time. All the time. We talk about money. What do you have saved? I told my son, Evan, this recently, do not date. Stack your money, dude. You're tall, good looking. You got an incredible father. You know what I'm saying? Stack your money.
And a hell of an auntie.
You know what I'm saying? I said, stack your money. Do not date. Don't waste it on women. Don't waste it on dating. Stack your money, stack your money, stack your money, and stack your money. And when you stack your money, keep stacking your money. And you get with a chick that is stacking her money. So when you go out with her, it's not costing you shit. That's exhausting. You know what I'm saying? You protect yourself. And so get you a, I mean, all we talk about is finance and money. Dad, all we do is talk about money. I love you. But back to the money. You know what I'm saying?
Let me answer. Yeah, Al's question. Will insurance cover suicide after the 2-year contestability? If you do it before the 2 years, no.
Al,
After the 2 years,
never get insurance, Al, because the first thing they do is go back into they do a mental. I'm just kidding. I'm talking about your question. They're gonna somehow find this question. But no, yeah, the mental health check is one of the biggest things they do. They take mental illness more serious than past cancer, because right now everybody's screaming, oh, I'm depressed, I'm anxious. These life insurance companies are hip to that, so they will not touch you at all if they think you have, because there's on the life insurance app, there's a whole section on mental health. Have you ever had thoughts of suicide, depression? Yes, depression. They're like, oh shit, page number 3, flip this sign here, and like decline. They won't even touch you. But yeah, if you can sneak it by them and you feel like killing yourself, get life insurance and wait 2 years. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But it is 2 years. And if you're having those type of thoughts, then maybe you should reach out and touch somebody, get some advice.
yeah, no, absolutely. So, yeah, I know from time to time we have this conversation about life insurance. It's really important. So, Thunder, you say just to make sure, you said permanent for both. For his niece and the new baby.
Yeah, I get permanent insurance because that's going to last forever and it's going to build cash value. So you want to do that 100%, and then get a term policy because they're cheaper, and as you get older, the term insurance policies get more expensive. So you take a 1-year-old and you get let's say you get $250,000 of insurance. At that age, the whole life policy, not whole life sucks, but permanent, like more index universal type stuff with lower risk, that stuff is going to be cheap for a baby. So you get a $250,000 policy that you can stuff cash into for future house purchases, investments, whatever, for later. And then you get a term policy that is larger, in case, because it's cheaper to have more of it. And that way, your family is protected. And Dee's heard me say this: it's easier to replace a spouse than a child. You see somebody, oh, this is husband number 2, my past husband passed away. They'll remarry, but they don't re-kid. You know what I'm saying?
I remember you told a story once, and I never forgot it. You said one day you were driving home on the freeway and it was an accident. And when we see a yellow tarp on the freeway, that usually means somebody passed away. And Walter said, I wondered, who it was. Was it a man and his wife and families expecting him to come in for dinner? Was he the breadwinner? Will they be able to replace his income? Was he insured? And when I thought about that, it's like, people really don't think about it in those terms. Like, what's going to happen on the other side of that? Because, he is no more. But what his family, or she, whoever it was, they have to go on. And so will they be able to do that? Like a lot of times, let's say if the mom, stay-at-home mom, right? She doesn't have a job. She's not necessarily bringing in any money. She might be helping her husband save it and invest it or whatever, but she's not bringing in any money. So he passes away. He doesn't have life insurance. Then she has to go get a job. Maybe she doesn't have any skills, like any college education, anything like that. So is she working 2 fast food jobs or some retail jobs, and now she never sees the children? When she was a staple in the household, they come home and there's mom. Is she gonna have to bring in any old dude, because now she's at her wit's end and she doesn't have the luxury to wait and to properly vet a man before she gets married, and he's some guy who's horrible to her and the children. But see, if that same woman and mother, she's her husband's insured, he died, and she says, well, you know what? There's no rush for me to have to go back to work. My husband left me $1 million, $2 million. That'll, get us by. We could pay the mortgage, and I don't have to rush and get married to just any old body. And then it turns out to be, even worse situation. So those are things we really have to think of. And I know, because I've sold life insurance and I've talked to people. Well, I ain't gonna be here. How I'm gonna know? Oh, it's a bill. And it's like, well, now put yourself in that situation of somebody who did that to you, who up and died and then left you with the major responsibility of trying to figure out how to take care of them. And because the other thing is this too, not to belabor this, but I've had people call me and find out that their mama stopped paying on their life insurance. And I said, well, I hate to kind of be crude in this, but you can donate the body to science. Because they're like, I don't know what we're going to do. And I said, I know that's not something you want to do. If y'all don't have the money, you can donate the body to science or whatever. Not people rarely want to do that. But when the body is gone to science, what about the people who are living? How do they go on? What if you have children? That's when Walter came to see me. I've had life insurance on myself since I was 24 years old, and I was ignorant as hell. Walter had first got into the life insurance business, and I gave him every excuse in the book. Oh, well, that's a bill. Well, if I die or my daughter die, well, I'm jumping in the casket with her. And he was like, all right, stop being stupid. And I got the life insurance. And I got the life insurance on myself because she was like 4 or 5 at the time. And I got it to where if I were to die today, on that day, she was able to go to college. I was going to be able to pay for her wedding, all the stuff that would, take place if I was still here. I got that much of a policy, so that way she would miss me physically, but she wouldn't have to go to a relative who was pissed off because I left them broke, or, they're abusing my daughter. They cussing her out every day. Your mama ain't this.
Your mama ain't shit. She didn't leave you shit.
Right.
Yeah, you leave your kids with their uncle, but you leave them $1 million. He can quit his job and make sure your niece have the finest, your daughter have the finest. You know what I'm saying? She have furry slippers and furry robes. She get out the tub. I have the flows heated, and I have the eggs, the heat on. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it, and it's so cheap to do. So get your life insurance, stick with it, and that's just one thing. Boom, you can check off. And then it's like now you start saving. Somebody mentioned the Vanderbilts earlier. The Vanderbilts, some of them, Gloria Vanderbilt is part of that family. And Anderson Cooper is her son. So they do have money. Now she spent most of it. Anderson Cooper talks about how his mom, the reason that she blew money, the reason he's so rich is because he watched them blow money. And it kind of taught him like, yeah, I better take care of myself. But I just thought that was interesting. I mean, I don't know what the Vanderbilts have to do with this conversation.
And they did. It's funny because they didn't get along. He was estranged from his mother, and I think his brother ended up taking his life. And then when his mom died, then it was Anderson, so he inherited all of that. But they hadn't spoken out, from what I understand, in years. But he did inherit her wealth.
Actually, Anderson Cooper and his mom were actually close. Maybe toward the end, they did a lot of stuff.
Yes, it sounded like they had fell out.
In the beginning, yeah, they probably was, but that's a great point, though. They had a bunch of money, but yeah, then they did blow a lot of it. The Vanderbilts spent a lot of the money, but they have so much of it. You know what I'm saying? They left enough to be able to leave some influence for Gloria and Anderson. You know what I'm saying? That's a great story, but it's cash. And another thing I want to address, and I know I'm gonna get in trouble, but I'm just gonna do it.
Well, think 5 times before you speak.
No. It ain't gonna say that's gonna get you banned.
Okay.
It actually is going to help you stay owned. And I want to touch this carefully. Now,
wait, before you do, can you quickly answer this?
Do premiums increase with permanent? No, they stayed the same. Now, when you buy life insurance, they lock in the premium. So let's say your life insurance is $200 a month on a permanent policy. The life insurance cost may only be $20. But what they have you do is they have you pay $200. So if it's $20 this month, $180 goes to the policy, cash. And then because over the years, that cost of insurance in the policy does go up. So in year 20, that $20 may be $75. But because you've been putting in $200 every month, all that cash value is building up. And the returns from the cash value is paying that premium. Plus, if you have what's called a level policy, if it's flat, let's say it's $1 million policy, and as your cash grows, let's say you have $200,000 in cash inside the policy, the life insurance policy, if you die, they only cut a check for $800 out of their own money because $200 of it belonged to you. There's several ways to get life insurance. You can do level, you can do increasing, where your money goes on top, and the life insurance company is always responsible for the whole million, but then that does cost you more. So it's just getting with somebody that actually knows what they're doing.
Now, what was you about to say that was going to get everybody in trouble?
Not everybody in trouble. It actually may just upset a few people. But you guys, I said the thing about Black people in America. I want to be careful because I don't want to come off as some weirdo. But like, if God came down and said, Black people, where would you want to live? Pick. You got 3 seconds. You know what I'd pick? America. First, foremost, and I pick it every single time. Because one, I can walk my Black ass outside. Ain't no bombs dropping. Ain't nobody hopping the fence. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody being hauled off in front of the Gestapo police. You know what I'm saying? We have rights here. Even some Black people, we have had a tough time in this country and we still continue to, but we still have the best rights. Like I heard a brother on TikTok say, Black people, stop talking about go back to Africa. Stop talking shitty about America. If you're poor in Africa, you sleep on the dirt. You sleeping with you on the dirt, and when it's cold, you cold. When it's hot, you hot. And you're Black and poor in America, you got EBT, you got free housing, you got transportation, you have all these things. You got a long, matter of fact, it will take $50,000, $60,000 to replace the benefits you get from free. You take a lady on welfare who's getting Section 8 food stamps and cash aid and free health insurance. I got to make 60, 70 grand just to compete with the health insurance. And if you're on welfare, you have no co-pays. You have the best health insurance on the planet in America, KKK. So the point I'm trying to make is maybe we could ease up a little bit on America. Yeah, it's got some shitty things going on, but we have it the best. I could lose my mind right now. And maybe I have. Some of y'all would think. But there are services where my family could take me and get help for free in this country. You cannot do that in Cuba, Belize. You can't do that in some parts of Africa or even in Europe, some places, Philippines. You can't do that. You can only do shit like that in this country. So maybe we can spend some time and say, hey, yeah, we got problems in America, but we have, like my sister, I was dead broke sleeping on her couch and I had to, use my expression, pull myself up by the bootstraps and get my stuff together. And truth be told, it was me trying to dive in and save Black people based on their skin color that cost me every dime I had. Every dime, plus some of my people around me cost them some money too. You know what I'm saying? So this country, we have a lot going for us. Yeah, it ain't perfect. But I swear to God, if God came down and said, pick a country, my Black ass would be on the first bus to LA, Miami, shit, I don't know. Pick.
Donovan, what about you? 3 seconds. Where would you live?
Shit, I know he.
The DR, Panama, or Australia.
I should have known.
I didn't know you were going to say.
It's already in the works.
Where the hoes at?
Yeah. When the purge happens, I'll be watching it from the beach.
Say Louisiana.
Yeah.
So you say Louisiana. What about y'all? Where would y'all live if you had 3 seconds to choose? Where would you guys live? Okay, so enlighten. You say Tanzania on the Indian Ocean. Okay. MC Factor, how you doing? By the way, he said this country belongs to Blacks. Why leave, especially since everyone is trying to get here? Okay. Michael, you say Walter, America does not have universal health care unless you are poor. This is the reality. I travel to Asia, Canada, Europe. People are not dying there, and they have good health care.
That's not what I said, though. I didn't say anything about universal health care. I said if you are poor, you have the best health insurance. That's what I said. If you make 75 grand, you have shitty health insurance.
Yeah, and it's funny that you brought that up, because my mom complains about that all the time, in the fact that she worked all her life. She's got these insurance policies, medical insurance and stuff like that, and they won't cover certain things, or she's got to pay a higher, whatever copay, whatever it is. Whereas some friends of hers, or people who lived off the system all their life, everything is covered, everything.
Yeah, I like some of these answers. Thunder, I've actually been to Palermo, Sicily. Nice place. That place goes off. Been to Greece too.
Chicago.
Portugal, I haven't been to, but I like all those places. I mean, Spain is my final destination, but I would come to the U.S. first, build my money, and then go to Spain, Portugal. I've been seeing some real cool stuff about the Seychelles, South Africa, even the Ethiopia. I've been thinking about lately going to check that out. I mean, Ethiopia, oddly enough, is the place where the human life started in the first place. Do you realize Ethiopians were the first ones to make coffee too? It's like you learn something every damn day. I was watching this coffee documentary for what I don't know. And the guy was like, yeah, coffee started in Ethiopia.
Well, Demetrius, that ain't what they told us in Costa Rica.
Man.
Right.
Everybody's competing for the coffee.
Yeah. We know where the cocoa bean comes from.
Shit started in Ethiopia. It's funny, a Puerto Rican dude, I was in Puerto Rico, and he was like, I asked him a dumb question. He's like, man, you don't know your history? He goes, we're African down here. He goes, if it wasn't for the Africans, my name wouldn't be Flores, it would be Flower, or some shit like that.
For me, this is kind of a hard one, because I've been, a few places.
DR ain't one of them.
No, damn sure ain't, Kay. That DR ain't one of them. I crossed that off.
Atlanta, ain't no men there. At least not a lot of straight ones.
That's crossed off the list too, okay? I fell in love with New Orleans. Believe it or not, I fell in love with New Orleans, and I'm trying to go back there before the end of the year. South Africa, I think if it wasn't New Orleans, it'd be definitely South Africa. Joburg was very nice. Did not like the Seychelles as much because it was just too many of them running around. But definitely New Orleans. Just everything about it, I really, really, really love the ambiance, the people. The structures of the houses. I just loved it all. I mean, I was there a couple of days. I think I saw quite a bit. But yeah, I like New Orleans.
Facts not feeling. I'm gonna get with you. First of all, Spain is not in decline. I was just there.
This fool's talking about he want to live with some P Valley. Y'all know what P Valley is?
I'm gonna try not to get you banned. Spain is nice. Spain, you go to San Sebastian. It's an hour and a half, 2-hour drive to Bordeaux, France. Trust me, go there, and it's right next to. Africa's right there. I mean, yo.
Yep. Your average logical thinker wrote to Spain that was a nice stop on your way to Europe. Get on the train and head right into mainland Europe.
Man, and you go hit those tapas bars. Man, you have the frog bois and the sirloin with the salt on it. Man, and a glass of wine. And me and my ex-girlfriend went there, and we spent $14, and each had like 2 drinks and like tapas. I was like, man, tell my kids I love them. I ain't never going. If I didn't have to work, I wouldn't come back. Me and my kids would be FaceTiming it. Spain was off the hook. I mean, when you leave the U.S. and you see other things, obviously, I would get bored there. But the U.S. is the place I would come first, because I would do what the Mexicans do and the Filipinos do. They come here, make their bread, and they go home. You know what I'm saying? So we could not learn from them, because we, like black people, I think I read something that says we are number 2, if I'm correct, and maybe I'm off, but we are at the top of the totem pole when it comes to total wealth for a color of people. Black people have a whole bunch of money. Otherwise, how can we buy all this stuff? If we did a black party right now, only black people did a party, there would be luxury cars and red bottoms all over the place. You go to a black people party and they are showing out. clothes, dressed up, cars in the parking lot.
Hey, yeah, you want to test that theory? On the I'm just saying, on this weekend, Beyonce is having her movie. It's going to be premiering in the movie theaters. And she's telling everybody to dress in opulence, right? So you're supposed to dress like like you got
it's in the dark, you dumbass.
So we're gonna see a bunch of low-hanging pantsuit dudes.
It's supposed to be opulence. The point I'm making, y'all, is you're gonna see a lot of people dressed to the nines. You know, go and check it out if you think I'm lying. And people are gonna have probably boas and furs and, you know, like I said, red bottoms and all of that, right?
Well, the good thing being in California, a lot of those people, at least in California representing, they'll be at Santee Alley getting everything they need.
You know what?
They're gonna be on the Real or Amazon.com getting the fake Louis. But you know what we should do, and I don't want to sound like
wait. Before you go on that, Walter, Donovan, y'all will probably know. I heard that if you are traveling through customs, or I guess even TSA with a knockoff bag, and they detect that as fake, they can take it from you. Is that true?
Well, I don't know. I never.
Yeah, it depends on what country it is. Some countries don't care, but there are a few countries where they don't want the backlash. So they'll take it for you.
You bought a bag from, and you know damn well it ain't real. You go into TSA and they're like, "Man, we're gonna have to take this bag from you. Why? It's fake. The hell it is!" And the whole TSA is watching you.
Yeah, no, and it isn't like the bag you're using. It's like if you bought a bag and you put it in your bag, a check bag or something.
Oh, I thought it was the one that you got with you.
No, if you're already using it, they don't care. But it's like if you bought one there and it's fake, they can take it from you.
Yeah, I haven't heard that, but I don't travel with fake stuff. I try not to do that. Actually, my sister bought me this brightening watch from Dubai. It's a Breitling. But hey, it's you know, it's funny part is I took it to a watch store and the dude was like, "Dude, this is a nice watch. You take these links." I said, "Man, this is a Breitling. My sister got this from Dubai." So I can't even say which one. I don't want to get her in trouble. A lot of people live in Niggerville. I don't even. Where is Niggerville?
That's what Farrakhan said. His 90th birthday, you know, when he spoke for his 90th birthday.
I'm gonna watch it. I didn't see that.
It's really good.
Where's Niggerville?
Oh, I'm sure you've been there a few times. Huh? No, it ain't real. He said here, you know, and your average logical thinking says, is the garment district still a thing in Los Angeles? The last time I checked, it is. Yeah.
With Negroes being gentrified, yes, it is.
Oh, it's packed. Oh, yeah, down there, Santee. Oh, yeah, there's a lot. That's packed down the
garment district. Yeah.
It ain't what it used to be. They're taking a lot of those and turning them into condos. Some really nice spot. I mean,
with the grocery stores on the bottom of them, right?
Yeah, stores.
Kind of like where we're at in South Africa.
Yeah,
like New York, Atlanta. They have the mixed use. Where now what they're doing is even in Riverside. I mean, they had a little spot where they had like stuff downstairs, and you could live on top of your store. They're starting to do that. Like downtown, they're $1 million for a warehouse loft. They're sick though, but you got to walk through some stuff, drive through some stuff. But yeah, that's happening, people. So, so I think we're on the right track. You know, this is the money show.
Absolutely. So I told them, I said, Walter went missing in action. We don't know what happened with Walter. And then I got this text. I was like, oh, okay. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something about my brother here. And for those of y'all who know, Walter is my very older brother. Walter has.
I'll be 55 on Saturday. No, 54. I'll stop counting. 54 on
That's
Saturday.
How you know you're getting old. You gave yourself an extra year. Walter has a very short attention span. Okay, I'm not saying he forgot about us, but you know, he kind of did. He got a little busy or whatever the case is. So,
you know, I'm not moved, but I'm residing a lot of my time in Orange County. Long story. Actually, it ain't that long. But so last 2-3 weeks has been like, whoo, Lord have mercy. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'm back today. I almost forgot. I was sitting on the couch over there. I'm like, oh, it's 3:00. What am I supposed to be doing today?
Right. I was like, well, we're gonna leave him alone. If he come back, he comes back.
It's the money. But you know what? The funny was I was sitting there working on this money. That's what I'm doing. It's the money show. You should be always, and it's funny. My buddy called me. I talked to him in years. We fell out like
Yeah, y'all did.
Like niggas stick them up. Well, you stick them up.
Pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky is what they call him.
Yeah, we fell out like that.
Is he watching? How you doing?
We call him Pretty Ricky. No,
remember he got mad at me one time because I had a shirt on and said I'm not my ancestors. Oh my God, he blew up. What do you mean? That's an insult to our ancestors. Oh, that wouldn't be wearing that shirt. I'm like,
yeah, I had on a Che Guevara shirt. He went nuts.
Oh my God.
Well, he just talking about the liberal. But the funny part is, and I do give him credit because he studies like Black history, like deep. He's writing a book called Blood of Kings and Slaves. It's actually a really good book.
Oh yeah, no, he's very smart, but I think a lot of people got Che Guevara all wrong, and Fidel,
Yeah, we didn't really know. I know it was some madness, but and actually it's funny. I was somewhat of a Democrat moderate. He's actually the one that got me to come to the right side, to think like. I remember one time Al Gore was here and I shook his hand. I shook Al Gore's hand. My buddy was like, "What the hell are you doing?" I was like, "Fool, that is the Vice President of the United States. I'm shaking his hand, fool." So, but no, but the whole concept is Black people, we bring more to the table than that's let on. Like even Jesse Jackson said civil rights over civil rights. What was it? He said something else too. I used to always say that. I can't remember the other phrase he used to use.
Keep hope alive.
No, not keep hope alive. He talked about civil rights. He talked about money. Even Martin Luther King towards his end was like, I made a mistake trying to get my people to swing low and join and be accepted. What I should have been telling them is go get that money. Black people did better during oppression, during the 30s, 40s, 50s. We were forced to take care of ourselves. If you go back and look at Black people in the 50s and look at Black people today, they were married, couples, Black families. They had each other. We stepped in with this liberal shit and civil rights, and you don't have to have a man no more. It has destroyed the Black race, period. So maybe we need some aggression to get us, but we need to come together, work on our shit, and then come together. Me and Donovan are stronger as a unit if we step up, and then we get another brother or sister to get her stuff together, and then we step up. That's how we do it. Ain't nothing wrong with having a little money put to the side, a little piece of property. I guarantee you, if Joe Biden is elected, I can move to my property with my RV and go live there. And I might have to. You never know. Like when you look at some of these other countries where socialism has stepped in, it started gradually. And what did they do? They took the weapons. And what do they talk about now? Killing the Second Amendment, taking our weapons. That would be a disaster. Guns don't kill people. Fools kill people. That's like blaming a spoon for Rosie O'Donnell being fat. You cannot blame the weapon.
Now, what Rosie O'Donnell got in it? What's that light behind you?
I heard somebody say that. What light? Oh, that just popped on, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was like. Somebody in your backyard?
Well, shit, he better have some cash. I got a jacuzzi back there. It's baby oil time. No, that's my... No, jacuzzi, baby oil clog up the jacuzzi filters. No, that's my light. It comes on automatically. It's my Alexa.
Got you.
So
I've heard about the Book of Clarence, but I guess need to see the trailer. I just recently saw about it. I saw it the other day. I don't really watch TV, so I hear about a lot of movies and things that's coming out via other people. But I heard some about it, but I guess I have to check it out. Walter, so what are you doing for your birthday? Saturday?
Nothing. It's Friday. I'm chilling.
Nothing.
Titus is not going to come over and keep you company?
No, your birthday it's Saturday's the 1st, right?
No, Friday's the 1st.
Is it?
No. Saturday's the 1st.
Huh? Are you sure?
Saturday.
I thought
it's the 29th. Tomorrow's the... Oh no, you're right.
Yeah, no, Friday's the 1st. I mean, I could be wrong, but wrong before.
No, you're right. I thought Friday is... Wow. I'm a whole day late. So yes, Friday is the 1st.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm cold
Oh,
chilling.
damn.
I told everybody
So
it's
when
gonna
you
be-
leaving, Donovan?
On the 1st.
So
that's
you was
right.
gonna be at the airport on Friday. Or no, Saturday. You was about to miss your flight.
You staying in line. What plane
I
go?
know.
Right.
I have built-in reminders. Trust me.
Not
And plus
Charlie.
and plus my chapiadora. Papi, are you on your way now?
Oh, you going back to see your kids in the DR?
That's right. Because I'm a good father.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Walter,
man.
Walter is a Sagittarius. And Frank, when is your birthday? Al said the doctor told Walter he had a short attention span, but he couldn't remember what he said after that.
I guess some things that keep my attention. As I get older, my priorities shift. My attention span switches to other things now that my kids are grown.
And when he means get older, he means for every 5 minutes, his attention span shifts.
I'm motivated by a few things: cash, security, and curves. You know what I'm saying? I got the that's what got. At this point, I told my kids, "You guys are grown. Don't go on my social media. Don't show up here unannounced." Because they got the key to my front door, my code. I'd be like, "You better call me first. Walk up in this kitchen."
Man, I remember. Now I go to. I walked in on one of my. Never mind. I should tell that story.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Wow.
So Donovan will be leaving us, not to go on to glory, but to a different type of glory. What did you say last night before you left out of here? Glory.
Oh my God. Who is Phil?
Wait, Walter, hold on. You didn't hear the bad news that Donovan told everybody yesterday. He's mad at me. In the DR,
again,
they're shutting down the Holstro.
What? How you gonna see your kids?
I just got to go to the next town. I just move them over to Cabarete.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but
helicopter
what they're doing there, because of a few people complaining, they are now going to seriously lock down the girls in the Sosua area. It's mostly Puerto Plata, but the Sosua area as well.
Go way down there to the DR to get some booty. Man, you can cross the border. Mexico, they got 4 blocks of holes. Why are you going that far?
Right. They want American prices. See, they want American prices.
Oh, man. Shit, the money you spending on that plane, man. After this, let me give you some tips. I'm not talking about how to get holes. I'm just saying how you can, man, all these gold diggers in America.
That's why he going over there.
All you got to do is floss over here.
Look, it's all about cooperation, appreciation. It's no big deal. They're not hypocritical. They just do what they got to do. But another big reason I'm going over there, because they have the VA clinics over there. So if I'm going to get my treatments, why not be at a beach in a nice resort area and get treated?
Your venereal shots.
It's just a walk to the beach,
Yeah.
In and out.
Penicillin
But they are actually going to make a serious effort to turn that area into another family-friendly resort area. They tried that shit in Las Vegas, and Vegas lost billions of dollars.
Now, you know what? What they ought to do real serious, and I'm a proponent of this, is they ought to make prostitution legal. I went to Amsterdam, man. Let me tell you.
Exactly. I've said that for years.
Prostitution is so organized. For 50 euros, you got 15 minutes, and most of y'all can't last 15 minutes anyway. So you got 10 minutes for questions. You know what I'm saying? They got rights. I talked to the girl. My girl was there. We didn't do nothing to her, but I gave her 50 euros, and she goes, "What do you want?" I said, "Do you mind if I ask you some questions?" And so, because I was, just when I was doing the traveling blog and all, and I asked her a bunch of questions. She was like, "Yeah, we got rights. It's organized. People look as they take us as serious citizens. We pay taxes. I walk out to my car. I got security. I have a nice house. You know what I'm saying? In America, you guys treat sex and all y'all married to hoes anyway.
Hypocritical at its best.
your money get low, she gone. You realize 70-80% of all relationships are ended by women.
Yeah, and check this out. And this is a damn shame. Why are you women against us men supporting single moms? Why are you against it?
And listen, we've had enough of this passport talk, okay? Enough.
What movies? I'm telling you, prostitution. Most of y'all go home to prostitution anyway.
What?
Absolutely, man. You come home and tell your wife, honey, I quit my job. I want to be free. I want to think about my life. She's gonna be like, clap, clap. Not for you.
Nah, never mind. Y'all remember the song? Yeah, some of y'all, huh?
Ain't nothing going on with the rents.
No, go away, little boy. Remember that song? Walter Mom used to play that all the time. Oh, what was her name? And then he came home and he told her he was quitting his job. He was gonna open up he said he gonna go get him a small, that's what she said, a small businessman loan. And he gonna open up a barbershop and all this other stuff. And she's like, wait a minute now. What are you talking about? you know, you need a job. He was like, well, you working, ain't you?
Yeah.
It's called Go Away, Little Boy.
We all have been with prostitutes.
Marlena,
it'll come to you.
I mean, even Thunder has a good point. What he's saying, that Bassinet movie had caused the whole strip and Blade closed down all over Houston. That's what Thunder said. Good point.
Marlena Shaw. Yes.
How are these single moms supposed to give their kids good Christmases? Y'all closing all these places down.
You know what's funny is you can't buy booty, which we do all the time anyways. Because if I take a girl out to dinner, I'm not taking her to dinner because I want to spend money on her. I'm taking her to dinner because I want to have sexual relations with this woman, preferably after dinner. That's the only reason you take a woman out. That's the only reason. That's why I have kids. Because when I met my ex-wife, it wasn't because I wanted to build a relationship and go hunting with her. I wanted to have sex with this woman. That was it. And we have to keep it real sometimes. And if we keep it real, we can get to things. We can get a lot of stuff done faster. And women, when you understand that, man, you too. Like man. Don't get me started. Me and Donovan may have to do our own show.
Yeah, y'all do that.
I'm telling you,
abroad.
I keep my shit close. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what's going down. No, that's my cooking oil. I'm just playing. Sometimes I get it confused.
Remind me not to eat at your house no more.
No, that coconut oil has a different color code on it. So I keep it in my room. I don't have sex in my kitchen. No, I ain't trying to mess up my kitchen. I like it clean up in here.
So fellas, I'm going to say this one last time. Do not televise and video. If you're going to videotape, keep it to yourself. Do not put it up on YouTube. Do not do that, because not only are these women don't like it, governments don't like the way that their country is being portrayed as a sex tourism destination. So it's mostly with the younger guys. So us older brothers, we got to tell these guys how to move. Do not videotape. And some of these girls have boyfriends and husbands and whatever. They don't want to be seen. Do not.
Oh, is that what happened? They were videotaping them?
Well, a lot of it's on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and put up Sosua or Dominican Republic, and you can see the girls working.
Oh, I mean, that's been on YouTube forever, but people going that for, like I said, I've been to all those places. Me and my ex, we went to Colombia. We went to Cartagena. We got off the plane, and my girl was like, "Damn, there's a lot of fine women out here." She said it. Man, I swear, one of the most finest women ever to have walked the planet Earth walked up to me and her and said, "Do you guys want to spend some time?" I was like, "Girl, what you think?" I was like, I looked at my girlfriend. She's like, "I'll kill you." But I was like, she went to bed eventually.
Horrible.
Man, Cartagena's off the hook. Do not take your man to Cartagena. It's all I'm saying. No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Donovan, you got a layover?
New York. I'll be in New York for 2 hours.
Fast and Philip said, don't put any women on social media. Why not?
And that if you're gonna videotape a girl, keep it in your stash.
Oh, like that. Oh, got you.
I mean, come on, man. Really gonna put that on YouTube? That ain't cool. That's actually pretty jacked up. Because in those countries, and I've been to a lot of these whole countries, not like for Donovan goes, but you sometimes you go and they're I mean, when you get out of the taxi in Cartagena, I'm talking hundreds and they in the restaurants, they're sitting at the bars, they're sitting at the coffee shops.
I've seen it myself. Okay, I've seen it.
I mean, talking about beautiful women.
We walked in the Kings and Rumba's restaurant. They thought Demetria was there to take over the whole store over there. I was like, I'm bringing in the champions.
I don't know how to interpret that, but
I was like, I'm shutting this place down. Okay, shutting it all down.
But but see, those places, they do not demonize that is a victimless crime. Fair trade is no robbery. If I want to pay you and you want to make me satisfied, I don't even know why it's a crime. You'd be better smoking crack in America. You can get help. They'll give you methadone or whatever, but you can't. Come on.
Well, just think of the taxes we could collect to fund things, you know?
Tax that booty for real. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what there's a hashtag, tax the booty. Like, hey man, I guarantee you, if there was a red light district in every city, relationships would be better because she know and he too, because it could be the other way. Hey man, I better act right. We better act right together. Hey honey, you supposed to be home at 5:02. Where you at?
On Bissonnette.
Oh yeah, who saw these cars in the parking lot? It's funny. I have a whole house next to my house, literally on the other side of this fence. I never been in there.
Sure, you haven't.
Still recording. No, but they have some really good Thai food next door. So
right. But you got to think about it this way, though. You've got women in the United States on OnlyFans right now. You got them. Sometimes you go to the club and they want to do something strange for the change because their rent's due or whatever. I just think it's very hypocritical that here we are, the United States, and you go to any Western country outside of the United States and they have a red light district. It's just crazy.
And they should. Think about the stress men go home to, and their wife they're not getting along. It's like, you know what, girl? Take your time. I got something I say. I asked the girl I'm dating now, we got into a little argument. She was in the wrong. I said, how much time do you need to calm down so we can talk? She's like, no, I don't need no time. I was like,
you don't be on Bissonnette.
I don't be on Bissonnette, but I ain't gonna put my business in the street. But like, I just think it would make households better if people had an outlet. That's all.
Could she have an outlet?
Hey, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If it went both ways, everybody would act better.
So you wouldn't mind if she actually had herself an outlet?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we would act better if we had outlets. I think the family would be stronger.
Okay, but if she had an outlet and you had one, so you wouldn't mind that she has an outlet?
Well, she's not supposed to know if I had an outlet, just like I'm not supposed to know if she had one. But I'm saying I would be on my P's and Q's, and I'm assuming she would if she knew that was out there. Like in Amsterdam, ain't no family fights. They don't have cops everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's very clean and organized. It's peaceful in Amsterdam. Because I'm telling you, you got to visit. Well, you sounds like y'all been to some of these countries. I mean, Colombia, DR is a little unorganized.
Thunder, I heard it moved around the corner. That's what I heard. Because Walter, there's a movie on Tubi. You know what Tubi is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Bissonnette, and it made the block hot. So I heard that Bissonnette is a true stroll out here. I'm in Houston, but I heard they moved around the corner because the movie made the block hot.
Really?
Yeah. So where is it, Thunder? Not that I want to know. It could be looking for some extra income or something. I'm just playing.
Yo, happy birthday, Mike. No, it's there's no fair exchange is no robbery. Period.
Mike the first. His birthday is the first. He'll be 63 years old.
Yeah, Saturday. You can cash app D. She'll give me my cut, possibly.
Maybe.
No, but yeah. But all jokes aside, little things like that we get stuck on. Like that's we really need to be focusing, on our own stuff. Like, because even like it's funny, my ex-girlfriend is texting me about something right now. me and her we haven't talked in months. But the fact that we still have stuff together, she's like, what about this? What's going on with that? You know what I'm saying? So it's not like what I consider a wasted relationship. You just with somebody and you're done with them and you just wasted time. You know what I'm saying? I believe in getting something from every situation. So if the two of you are working on something, like if you're dating somebody and the two of you aren't working on something together, y'all need to find something to work on. I'm telling you, it is harder to grow up a relationship when the two of you have something going on. I'm dead serious. The reason I'm having this podcast at my house and not at her house, because I said something, I wasn't cool with it. I made some adjustments and I'm here tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so y'all got to, but ain't she watching you right now on Facebook?
No, I don't know. She don't have Facebook. But no, I'm not talking bad about it. I'm just
That
making
you know of.
I'm just, well, it's whatever. I'm just making.
How you doing it? How you doing it? I know she's watching. How you doing?
No,
what
no,
did he do?
but,
now get in here on your fake page and tell us exactly what he did.
No, there was no crime. Really, just a small misunderstanding that's being corrected. But my point being, as I'm here, I'm thinking about, okay, we got this going on. We've already started some things, and me and her started dating. I said, if I'm going to date you seriously and not just be a casual sex partner, here's a list of things I need from you.
So you was being used.
I mean, I got skills. What can you say? But I was like, there's a list of things that I need from you. We need to be business oriented. I don't want to be on Instagram, TikTok. I'm not going to be sitting here with you at the table and you on Instagram. That's not how I get down. If we're not getting something done, we don't need to be around each other. If we're not having sex or at the movies or doing something like that, let's get money. And I was 100% dead serious. And that's the way it should be. I said, I don't have time to goof around because there's booty everywhere. I'm a young, good-looking man. I got little things put together. I ain't go out and get booty all day, every day. So can Donovan, right? I don't fly as far to get the booty. So, and she's a cute woman. She can get ding-a-ling all day, too.
Oh,
so
trust me, Donovan don't be having to go all that far. Don't let him fool you. Ain't no women over here. Donovan alive. Seen him with a few women over here. Okay.
I've been to Moreno Valley. You up in that house by yourself, all those bedrooms and all those dark sheets and rooms tucked away.
Trust me, I've been over there and I've seen some, okay?
Got him walking around butt naked.
Butt naked.
Yeah.
Butt naked.
You walk into Donovan's house, it's either you waiting on Silence of the Lambs, a homeboy to pop out, or a bunch of freaks to fall from the ceiling.
Well, I hope, Walter, that you and her can, mend your ways and all of that.
No, it's not like that. No, we're not going our ways. No, the good thing is, and I'll kind of come around third base and come home, is it's just sometimes you have to set boundaries. I followed this girl. Chris, you want something to drink or something? You did. Oh, okay. I followed this girl, Sadia Philosophy. You should follow her. Pakistani girl. She's really smart, really good. And she talks about setting boundaries. So I just set up a couple boundaries and I stuck to them. It wasn't a big thing. We had something planned. You know me. I don't like when people cancel plans at the last minute. That just sends me over the edge. I don't do well with people like that. And I was clear with her. She made last minute changes after I had already made plans. And I was like, that's not happening. I'll see you tomorrow. That was it.
So you like me, you get irritated, and it's like, you know how you ever get, because I'm the type of person, I'm cool 99% of the time. But it's that 1% that is just like, I can't come back from. It takes me a while to rebound and just be irritated and irked, so I try not to get to that point because I lose it. So I'm that type of person too. Like, wait a minute. Like you assume because you canceled your plans, like I had nothing else to do. You don't know what I had to do that day, what I had to move around. I want to get cute or whatever the case is. And all of a sudden, well, we can't do it or we ain't going. Yeah, you'd be like,
yes, let me turn this down.
Well,
and that's my point. Follow this girl, Donovan. You'll like her. She talks about boundaries.
You don't need to follow no more girls. No more women.
She's dressed. So Donovan, it's not gonna be what you're used to, but she's very smart. Pakistani girl, very intelligent. She talks about relationships and all that stuff. So, and she has 1 million followers and she keeps her clothes on. So she's actually somebody you can respect. So, All right, you guys. I'm gonna get out of here, Donovan. Don't get
Well, thank you for gracing us with your presence this week.
catch no disease.
Bye, fool.
Yeah, and you can text us who the new spot is.
Y'all don't need to know. Thunder, don't tell them. They don't need to know.
All right, y'all. I'll see you.
Bye. So anyway,
No, you know what? Even if I do know where the new spot is, I'm not going to say anything, fellas. If you want to know what the new spot is going to be, it will not be televised because we'll try to shut that spot down too. So we got to keep it secretive this time.
shut them down. We, like I said, enough of this passport BS. We sick of it. Y'all brothers ain't going nowhere. If we got to be here, y'all got to be here too. Okay? Ain't y'all not going nowhere? What they got over there that we ain't got? Huh? Name one thing. Nothing. The answer is nothing. They have nothing.
Happiness.
Oh no. They got pretend happiness. They as long as the money is flowing. Oh yes. No, not 2 hoes, 3. As long as the money. As long as the money is aplenty, yeah, you're gonna be happy. Okay. But the minute you close your wallet up, they closing their legs up.
Just like they do here in the United States.
So why go so far? You know what I'm saying? So I felt like as the chairman of the Stop the Passport Bro Movement delegation, I had to do what I had to do. I'm saying I know it hurts now, but like I said yesterday, you'll thank me later. You'll be glad I did it. You remember when your mama whooped you and she said it's gonna hurt me more than it hurts you? Well, it does hurt me. It hurts me. But it's for your own good, okay? I got you. That's what friends are for.
Stay here and suffer. That's for our own good. Stay here, be unhappy, talk that. Hey, why not?
It's all about perspective. Are you suffering or is it something that's building character?
If I got to stay here, the next woman that I deal with, I'm going to sit her down and have her watch what's love got to do with it all the way through. And I will question and answer her to make sure she got the cliff notes on the high points of the movie.
Make sure she watches the limo scene, okay? When she whops Ike's ass, make sure she watches that first, and then have her watch it backwards.
I'm all for that, but I'm going to remind her I don't do drugs. So,
Thunder, we can't cancel it, cut it. We shutting it down, okay? Y'all not going nowhere. You want to go to a different state, maybe city, fine. But traveling over there to get punani, no, we shutting it down.
But look, in all seriousness, though, D, seriously, you've got a lot of women on YouTube or wherever talking about we don't make enough money, we ain't this, we ain't that, we ain't shit, blah, 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 blah. Why do you guys want to keep us here? Just let us go. Let us be happy. Let us be free.
I don't know who those women that you're speaking of. I don't keep such company, but me and my homegirls, we want you guys here. We love you. We would miss you. You know, that's why we can't speak for those other women. We can't speak for them. We're speaking for us. Okay. So you had a good run out there with your passports getting stamped all over the place. You had a good run, but it's over now. Okay. It's over. I'm going to get friends with all the consulates of every host role, and I'm going to, tell them that they can't come over there anymore. You're on restriction permanently.
Fellas, my email is dxfiles with a Z at Gmail. When I get the spot, go to my Facebook page. I'll send you the link.
Now look at this. Your average logical thinker says they would rather pay Maria $100 than to give Keisha $40 cash app. That's why I shut it down. That's why.
Keisha doesn't even want to go to Cheesecake Factory. What are you guys talking about?
Listen, we can't speak for those women, but we would love to go to the Cheesecake Factory with you. We would love it, okay? We'll even go downgrade to Denny's. We'll do that, okay?
Okay, if you guys are willing to do that, I am willing to meet you guys halfway. I'm willing.
We are. You just, stay. But see, you're not telling the truth, Donovan. You like the thoughts. You like the thoughts. So
I do. I love thoughts. I love them. I love them.
Will, you say y'all not trying to catch bees with honey in America? Yes, we are. The thoughts aren't. The thoughts aren't, but we are. Okay, we're very sweet. We can be. Where some of us are like those sweet and sour gummy bears. One day we're nice, and the next is razor blades and lemon juice. Okay, but for the most part, we're very sweet people. But the thoughts, we can't speak for them. Yeah, that. Thundy says, I'm going to bingo hall on senior night. Well, ladies, they do have the VFW, okay? I was at a VFW not too long ago when I was in Florida, okay? And yes, there are some men there, but ladies, you can't dress like you got some sense. You got to break out the cat suit from 1993 because the women in there had the cat suits and the thigh-high boots at their very seasoned age, still trying to catch one at the VFW. So I'm just telling you. That's how they were dressed. I was like, okay, well, I could come back another day, I guess. Norris says, Donovan the Mac. Yeah, don't let Donovan be up here fool you like he's all this nerdy Poindexter type of dude. That Donovan is a hot mess. Trust me, a hot mess.
Well, it is known when I leave the United States soil, I do turn into a different person. I am fun, I'm enjoyable. I buy rounds on me. Everybody have a good time, and it is what it is.
Rodney, yes, I am single. Single as a $1 bill. Okay. Facts Not Feeling says Keisha wants a guy that makes $500,000. We listen. We can't speak for Keisha. We don't know no Keisha. We don't. Get Keisha. Forget about Keisha. Okay. Then what to think about the Demetras and the Corlises and who else we got on here? The average logical thinkers. You know what to think about us. Us, not Keisha. Boom, Keisha. None of the Keishas. Well, we do have a Keisha on the show. So Keisha, yes, that Keisha, but the other Keishas, the Keishas that Donovan like, no, leave her alone. Leave her alone. Common man, where you been? Says Passport Bros, go overseas to find wise men can get punani anywhere. Facts are facts. Yeah, but what kind? Is it quality? You talking about quantity or quality? Because you can get a lot of it, but is it going to be good? I can't speak on that. I'm just asking questions. Yeah, Thunder Grand Slam and Early Bird Special. Well, yeah, I would do that. I would eat Waffle House. I have to draw the line at the Waffle House. I'm not going to do no Waffle House, okay? No. But Denny's, yes.
Remember after the all-night disco at the base, everybody went to the Denny's.
Yep, Denny's, yes. Waffle House, I can't do Waffle House. I did it a couple months ago, and it was, I can't do it. And Jeff, how you doing? He says, we heard about you and Punta Cana, Donovan. Yeah, a mess. And you know what the crazy part is about Donovan in the DR? Everybody knows his name. My friend, hey, my friend, I'm glad you're back. Oh, my friend, you want me to call her up and tell her to come right now? I'm just playing. But they do. Everybody knows Donovan there. I'm like, well, how often do you come here?
I have made it a point to go to the DR at least a minimum of twice a year. I'm going back for the Super Bowl. That is a fact. I will be there for the Super Bowl until further notice.
Yes, a cat suit. Now, I'm not talking about Eartha Kitt. I'm talking about the kind, it's the onesies that women used to wear, and he had the boots on or whatever. It's the onesie. Now, some of them look like the penguin from the Batman movie now. So they're not giving Eartha Kitt. They giving Danny DeVito. But they had them on nevertheless. I was like, okay, I'm outdressed here. I got to come back and, rethink my plan. You better tell them. You better tell them, Rodney. You better tell them. Honeydew says, Donovan seems like he likes to cuddle. We just want a hug, Donovan. I'm still auctioning Donovan off. $6. $6 is where the auction is.
Now, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm in my old flight suit. Whenever I fly, even in the civilian world, a day in, I put on my flight suit just to fly because sometimes I'll take a student at the base or something. We'll go flying together, whatever. So, back in the day, this flight suit used to get all kinds of chicks. But what I've learned, and I try to tell the young pilots that come to the base that I fly with, I try to tell them it's not the suit that makes the man, it's the man that makes the suit. So if you got to stay in your flight suit 24 hours a day, 365 to pull chicks, you might want to up your game a little bit better.
And thank you, Rodney. Common Man says men get quantity in America, men get quality overseas. I take your word for it. Yeah, Donovan. He says I'll be tipping and making sure the servers and waiters and help enjoy my time there. Yeah, everybody knows Donovan. It's amazing actually. Yeah, what's your homeboy name that's on the beach when you're walking down to the beach?
Oh yeah. God, I know you're talking about. It's a French name, but yeah.
Yeah. Not Pierre.
Yeah, it's something like Pierre, something like that. It's
Yeah.
French. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my friend.
Remember we were walking. He was running toward us.
Right. Big spender on the line. You know how the Players Club, when the money came in the club, that they turn on the green light and they see Donovan, that's what they do. They get the stroll popping. Okay. Jeff said $6. Good Lord. Yeah. Listen, I can't even give Donovan away at this point. Because he'd be saying stuff like we had it up to a decent amount at one point in time, but then he was talking about they could supersize. They could supersize their food. And then they just plummeted.
Wait, why should we get the expectations up? I'm letting the women know I'm not cheap. You can supersize if you like. So you're going to get what you want, and I'm going to get what I want. Cut and dry.
Let them see the flight suit. I saw it before we came on here, and I started to sing "Take My Breath Away." Oh, he took all the stuff off of it. He had it all on there a minute ago before we came on here, but he took it all off. See, y'all be thinking I'm lying. So automatically I thought of Top Gun. There you have it. Now that's gonna cost you, honeydew. If I got to have Donovan stand up again, it's gonna cost you because I'm giving the merchandise away a little bit. I don't want y'all to sample the product. I want the element of surprise to be there.
But do you know what is so sad, Demetra, about these ladies? Now, your average logical thinker, she's military, so she kind of understands a little bit. Girls will see guys like me in this flight suit. The girls that know about the military know those guys are special guys and they get more money than the average military person, right? Even you, Demetra, and rather than having a guy that has a technical skill and can do something special, you went and got you a certified killer. Because y'all love the bad boys. Y'all love them.
Wait a minute. I want to be clear. He came and got me. I didn't go and get him. Talking about a Marine. Okay. He came and got me. Hey, Maurice, how you doing? That's taking it way back. But you know what? When I come back to California, yeah, I'll hit you up. When I say way back, we're talking about way back.
These women, they if you're going to be on the base and you know military people, like fellas, those of us that are in the military are veterans. We know the women that know the rank structure and stuff, avoid those women because they know your pay grade, they know your structure, they know how much you're bringing home. You want to avoid those women. But you'll see
me too.
Yeah. Demetra knows it already. She would bring her girls up there and they'd be having a little notebook talking about, girl, he a captain. Ooh, how much is that? Okay, yeah, they'd be breaking it down, So
a major. Oh, he's single. Oh, okay.
Girl, he gets special duty pay, flight pay, danger pay. Girl.
Right. So anyway, we're going to act a fool if we stay on here any longer. Thank you, Donovan, for coming on Wednesday. I know it's not your normal day. I know your throat is hurting. My throat is hurting too. Have a safe flight to paradise, if you will.
I will be available Sunday. I'm staying in my usual suite in Sicily.
Wait. Hotel Europa.
I'm on the third floor. That's a private floor up there, and
And they know him there too. What's her name?
Ramona.
Ramona. Yes, she owns
The
a
owner?
cafe down there. Yes, and Donovan comes in and he gets a big piece of chicken. You know, everybody knows Donovan there. It's just really, it's crazy, but they do. So yes. Anyway, we love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We will see you guys on Sunday. Please have a great rest of your evening. And in the meantime, be blessed.